It's Thursday, November 27th. Today, waiting for care. The new glimpse into Canada's healthcare system and the number of patients who have died waiting for some procedures. A deadly fire in Hong Kong. What we know so far about the blaze that's claimed the lives of at least 55 people and left hundreds missing. And later, impaired driving. The impact of edible cannabis on young drivers. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Thursday to you. Thank you so much for being with us here at Your Morning Winnipeg. Ainsley McPhail is going to tell us all about the Winnipeg Christmas Market. It's right down the street at RBC Convention Centre. Everything you need for the holidays, if you're looking for some stocking stuffers or even just great gifts that are locally made, locally produced. She's going to have a whole list of things to show us this morning, which will be fun. But when I was driving into work today, I saw a little bit of snow on the side of the road.
I was running some errands yesterday, and I had my kid with me, and he was saying, "Oh, I hate that it hasn't snowed yet," and this doesn't even count because it was just like a couple of flakes.
Right.
Within the time period that we were in the car, all of a sudden, like it was like when you're driving in that video game and the big fat flakes are flying at you. He's like, "This is what I've been waiting for." So that's what you probably saw on the ground this morning, was that bit of snow that we saw yesterday afternoon. And we could still see a little more of it throughout the day today. Our temperatures, they are cooling down a little bit. We're waking up now to -7. But again, I'll just remind you what is normal for this time of year. Seasonal low temperatures would have us sitting around -15, so we are still above that. You see the camera shaking once again. Our wind right now is only registering 11 kilometers per hour out of the west-northwest, but maybe a little bit stronger again. Maybe it's just those loose bolts up on the camera. I don't know why it wiggles so much. Pressure is rising. The humidity is sitting at 87%. A few extra clouds this morning, and that possibility of some light flurry activity. We saw it yesterday afternoon around rush hour, or into the evening time, I suppose, is when it really picked up. And then this morning, still every now and then you'll see a snowflake out there. So similar to that, we might see off and on precipitation, mainly cloudy conditions, quite similar to yesterday, in fact, where there will be some moments of sunshine here or there, but then again, moments of flurry activity. And that's pretty much the case no matter where you are in the province. Partly sunny conditions, partly snowy at times, but like brief and not amounting to too much. And this is going to basically continue because still overnight, that possibility of flurries, still for tomorrow. On the cloudier side, some pockets of sunshine here or there, that possibility again of some scattered flakes of snow. But what we are really noticing is the trend of the downward sliding temperatures as we continue to move to past seasonal and then below normal as we're looking through the weekend and for much of next week. So gonna have to start to dig those layers out and bundle up a little bit.
Thank you, Terry. Police are investigating after partial human remains were found in a back lane in the North End. Someone reported finding the remains at around 1:30 Sunday afternoon in the 600 block of Selkirk Avenue. The homicide unit is investigating the death as suspicious. Police weren't able to provide any details about the person's identity. Anyone with information is asked to contact the homicide unit or Crime Stoppers. There's an alarming new glimpse into the state of the health system, the number of patients who've died waiting for medical care. CTV's Heather Wright reports.
Debbie Fuster had survived breast cancer and expected a full recovery from triple bypass surgery, except the Manitoba woman died before ever having the procedure.
It still feels like shock.
Daniel Fuster says doctors told his mom she needed heart surgery within 3 weeks. She was left waiting for nearly 3 months.
There was some major mess ups that resulted in her file basically not going to where it needed to go.
Fuster is not alone. According to public policy think tank secondstreet.org, nearly 25,000 patients died in Canada while waiting for surgeries or diagnostic procedures between April 2024 and March 2025. But the organization warns the numbers are likely higher, as many provinces don't track these deaths or only collect partial data.
Fundamentally, these are embarrassing numbers, and I think that's why governments are not keen to go out and track them carefully.
Second Street is calling on all provinces and territories to track and disclose these deaths. They also want to see hospital funding tied directly to performance, a reform they believe will improve wait times.
It's crazy to keep doing the same thing, throwing money at the system and hoping something will change.
Another proposed reform is Debbie's Law, a Manitoba private member's bill championed by the Fuster family, which would require health authorities to inform patients when life-saving treatment cannot be provided in a timely manner.
Debbie's law is not perfect. It's not going to solve every problem, but it is a great starting point to begin asking for transparency.
This year's numbers mark a 3% increase from last year, and according to 2nd Street, since 2018, more than 100,000 people have died in Canada while waiting for some sort of surgery or procedure. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
The province is partnering with the federal government to spend more than $6 million to prevent gender-based violence. The money will be spread out among 32 separate initiatives working to end gender-based violence and provide support for victims. Families Minister Nahanni Fontaine says the cash will augment the $22 million the province is already providing to agencies. This includes funding for women's shelters, transitional housing, and resource centers.
Survivors have gained autonomy, confidence, and meaningful opportunities to rebuild their lives.
Fontaine says in the past year, more than 27,000 Manitobans have accessed services funded through the provincial program. 41% of those people were in rural, remote, or northern areas. Terrifying scenes and a rising death toll in Hong Kong. At least 55 people have been killed after a massive fire engulfed a residential apartment complex, and 3 men have been arrested on suspicion of manslaughter. Crews were still battling the flames hours after the fire started. The blaze was fueled by bamboo scaffolding. At least 279 people are still missing, and 29 are hospitalized. The complex is home to nearly 5,000 residents. This heartbreaking image capturing a distraught man who says his wife is still inside. A troubling development in a botulism outbreak south of the border that has sickened dozens of babies. Tests of ByHeart infant formula show that all of the company's products may have been contaminated. Laboratory tests of 36 samples of formula from 3 different lots showed 5 contained the type of bacteria that can lead to the rare and potentially deadly illness. The company made the announcement on its website. At least 31 babies in 15 states who consumed ByHeart formula have been sickened since August. The company issued a nationwide recall 2 weeks ago, but officials have said some product remained on store shelves. Health Canada announced a safety warning 2 days later, but said there's been no reports of illnesses here in Canada. The holiday shopping season is here, and that could pack a punch for your wallet. Equifax says credit card balances are expected to peak in December, with missed payments already on the rise. The agency says 1.45 million consumers missed a credit payment in the last financial quarter. That's up by 40,000 people from the previous quarter. The report also found delinquencies are up among younger consumers. The Winnipeg Police Service is rolling out a new electronic ticketing system. The service says the new system is being phased in. If you're pulled over, you'll still be handed a printed ticket, but the big change is how they're created. Officer smartphones can access the service's record management systems to enter offense information into a secure digital platform. The hope is this will boost accuracy and accountability while allowing officers to spend less time on paperwork. The Winnipeg Jets began a 5-game road swing Wednesday night in Washington against the Capitals. Late in the game, the Jets, down by 1, were hoping to force overtime and took the last second shot.
Kyle Connor moving it to Scheifele. Scheifele weaving his way through, a shot on net, and Lindgren keeps it out.
Despite Winnipeg's push, the puck was caught between the skates of Capitals right winger Tom Wilson, and Washington takes this one 4-3. Winnipeg's next game is Friday in Raleigh against the Carolina Hurricanes. Take note of the early start time on this one, 4 p.m. Manitoba time. A California zoo has a new litter of a little-known species, the fossa. 3 fossa pups were born at the San Diego Zoo in July, but fossa moms stay in the den for nearly 3 months before the pups venture out. The fossa is a cat-like mammal closely related to the mongoose and civet. They are native to the island nation of Madagascar. Here's a look now what's happening in traffic along Kenniston Boulevard. It looks like things are moving really well to start off this Thursday morning. No issues to tell you about at this point in the drive. If you do see problems out there, though, please text them to us at 10400. Let's go now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live at the RBC Convention Center right now. It looks so beautiful behind you. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning, Rochelle. And I heard you and Terry off the top of the show talking about, okay, a little bit of that white stuff on the ground. And I've actually chatted with businesses who have said, I feel like not as many people are coming in. They're not feeling the holiday season because they're not seeing that yet. And something like the Winnipeg Christmas Market might get us the get us into the spirit that we need. About 140 businesses, Canadian businesses, of course, mostly Manitoban, sported here at the market. Everything from fantasy novels to artists, charcuterie boards in front of me. I even saw some bison socks. How cool. How local. Something that I really liked that I noticed too was greeting cards. When you open them, an entire nativity scene comes out. So not only is it neat, but you're supporting local. We're getting creative, and during this time of year, we're all needing that, right? We're all needing to support one another. So stay with us throughout the morning as we explore the rest of it.
Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. How's it feeling out there, Terry?
You know, it feels so fresh and crisp, but I think too, I mean, Ainsley's talking about, you know, getting in the spirit of the season, and we saw that bit of snow yesterday. I am ready. So I don't even mind that we're starting to see slightly cooler temperatures day after day. I mean, we're still above what you would expect for this time of year, starting at -8, even though we were at -7 last hour, and we lost a degree, but just for a reference point, -15, that would be a normal low. We're still not anywhere close to those numbers, but we will get there and maybe even slide beyond. We've got a bit of a breeze this morning. It's just a 9K wind. It's out of the west-northwest. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 88%. Now, that wind might still get a little bit stronger throughout the day today. We could at times have winds gusting to about 40 kilometers per hour. So when and if that happens, that will have a little bit of a bite or an impact on how you're feeling when you're stepping outside. So I would recommend having that toucandy or a little something to cover your ears. The conditions otherwise will be pretty similar to what they were yesterday, with the clouds hanging around and then the pockets of sunshine and that possibility of scattered flurries, and that goes right across the entire province. So at times, things could start to look a little more wintry again if we do in fact see more of those flurries. The possibility is there. And then I mentioned this cooling temperatures. We will continuously watch them sliding as we're moving toward the end of the week and weekend. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Open late, ready when you are.
Good morning. The death of a woman who waited more than 30 hours for care in a Winnipeg hospital is being investigated as a critical incident. The woman's daughter posted to social media saying her mother visited a clinic for a swollen hand last weekend and was told to go to a hospital for further treatment. The post alleges the woman was left on a stretcher for 30 hours at the Grace Hospital, where her condition deteriorated. She was transferred to St. Boniface Hospital, where she died. The Winnipeg Regional Health Authority couldn't discuss details, but confirmed the patient's death has been deemed a critical incident and will be investigated. Health Minister Uzama Azaguera says they spoke with her daughter Wednesday.
It's very clear that a critical incident investigation and review needs to be done. But further to that, I believe that a more comprehensive investigation needs to be completed. We need to understand not only what happened here in as much detail as possible, we need to understand how we can prevent this from happening again to any Manitoba family. So I did share that with her this morning. We're going to keep the family up to speed in terms of how this proceeds, but you know, these incidents are devastating and they are also unacceptable. We can and must do better.
CTV News has reached out to the woman's daughter. We have not yet heard back. Exclusive developments in the case of an Ontario man arrested because of a CTV W5 investigation into a global network of men who secretly drug and videotape their intimate partners. W5's Avery Haynes has more on the new charges. But first, a warning. The details may be disturbing for some viewers.
Brian Hayward, handcuffed and taken away by police in Hamilton, Ontario last May, busted, is now under investigation in another province. Calgary Police Staff Sergeant Tom Hansen revealing exclusively to W5 that new charges have just been laid.
Brian James Hayward, 37 years, was charged with sexual assault and choking with intent in relation to an incident that occurred in January of 2015 in Calgary, Alberta.
Crimes allegedly committed a decade ago when Hayward and his ex-wife Chelsea Davies lived in Calgary. Chelsea first went public with her story in W5 Sleeping with the Enemy.
I woke up to him strangling me. He wouldn't stop. He had my arms pinned down with his knees. He did not stop until I pretended to pass out.
After Hayward's arrest in Hamilton, where he now faces 60 charges involving more than a dozen alleged victims, Davies contacted Calgary police with fears there could be other victims in Alberta.
I want it to be public that we did live there for an entire year. A couple of those months we had separated and I was not there, so that time is completely unaccounted for.
Davies says they lived in Calgary from April 2014 to May of 2015.
There is a possibility that there may be other victims, but there's nothing actually to indicate anything other than our concerns that there may be some out there.
Meanwhile, in Hamilton, still no charges in connection with the alleged drugging of Hayward's 11-year-old daughter following a visit with him in 2023. Hayward remains behind bars and has not yet entered a plea in the charges piling up against him. Avery Haynes, CTV News, Hamilton.
911 calls to police from Winnipeg libraries dropped from 23 in 2024 to 9 this year. It's just one of the findings in a new report at City Hall. According to the report, there was a total of 293 incidents of various types between July and September of this year. That's a nearly 24% drop from the same period a year ago. The incidents reported include everything from inappropriate behavior to alcohol and substance use and thefts. 90 of the reported incidents came from Millennium Library, a 57% drop from 2024. The report also shows a slight decline in visitors to all libraries, with Millennium Library seeing an 18.5% drop. It blames the drop on the reduction of hours in September of 2024 and speculates the end of buses operating on Graham Avenue may have also had an impact on traffic to the library. The Winnipeg Airport has a new tool it hopes will get you through security a bit faster, and you can't miss it. The Canadian Air Transport Security Authority has installed this large CT X-ray machine at line 4 of the security screening area. Passengers who use the X-ray machine won't need to remove liquids, medical devices, or large electronics such as laptops from their carry-ons. This is because it shows security agents a 3D rotating image of the contents of your bag. CATSA says the technology will eventually be in place at all the screening lines. The Olympic flame has begun a journey which will take it all across Italy ahead of the Milano Cortina Winter Games. Bad weather in Greece forced the flame lighting ceremony to be held indoors. It also led to organizers using a backup flame, which was sparked during Monday's rehearsal. Over the next few months, 10,000 runners will carry the torch across Italy. It will arrive for the opening ceremony of the 2026 Olympic Winter Games, which run from February the 6th to the 22nd. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning following the rush. The northbound right turn lane will be closed on Kenniston at Taylor. The southbound curb lane of Balmoral Street is closed between Capel and Ellis. The curb lanes will also be closed on Balmoral Street from Broadway to Granite. If you have any other traffic tips or updates to share, please text them to us at 10400.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
And a look outside right now through your Bath Fitter Live Eye. Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. And it's looking pretty good outside right now. As far as what the conditions are, we do have a few extra clouds hanging around. We will perhaps see some scattered snow today, but it's these temperatures that are keeping us well above seasonal as we begin. -7, it's showing -8. It's like -7 point. So some models are rounding up. Anyway, we're right in that zone. We're still well above seasonal because normal lows would be about -15. Now, a lot closer to that, we got Brandon coming in at -13 and getting into some high minus single digits along this western border, more mid minus single digits through east central Manitoba, pushing up into the north, and we are seeing the minus double digits, but again, around -20 would be normal highs in the most northern part of the province. And again, you're going to be well above that, or you are already. Now, those heavier clouds that I mentioned could bring some scattered flurries, but they'll also break up enough at times that we will perhaps see some pockets of sunshine. I mean, not at this time of morning, because 7:59 is when the sun finally starts to rise here in Winnipeg. So it's getting a little bit later and later each morning. And then I mentioned those cooler days. We're certainly going to start to notice those as well. In fact, even today will be a little bit cooler than it was yesterday. -7 as kids get settled into the classroom. Lunchtime, -6. And our expected high today is -4. So yes, cooler than it's been, but a normal daytime high would be about -6. And that's likely what we're going to be sitting at for tomorrow. And then slowly, steadily, still seeing these temperatures on a bit of a slide. A little more sunshine coming out this weekend. But once we get to those below seasonal temperatures, they'll actually linger for a little bit into next week. A stunning capture of the sun rising out in the Knee Lake area. Thanks to Wayne for the photo, and keep them coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca. We're taking a break, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
When you give a child a winter coat, you give them the means to go to school on a cold day, a chance to play outside, because no child should be freezing cold. Donate to Coats for Kids. Proudly sponsored by United Way Winnipeg and CTV.
Good morning. Impaired driving continues to be an issue on our roads, and it's not just what drivers have had to drink or smoke. A new study is offering insight into the impact edible cannabis can have on young drivers. CTV's Beth McDonnell has the details.
From chocolate to gummies, there are people consuming cannabis edibles and getting behind the wheel.
There is still this misconception that cannabis makes you a safer driver, or it doesn't have an impact on driving, or it's not as dangerous as alcohol-impaired driving, when in reality, impaired is impaired.
Now, a new study conducted by the University of Saskatchewan with support from CAA is shedding light on the timing and effects of driving high with these products. Drivers between the ages of 19 and 30 were examined after taking about 10 milligrams of THC.
They got an edible in a controlled setting and were put on the driving simulator just to see what those impacts were, and then measuring that over time to see if they were driving at, say, 90 minutes, 2.5 hours, 4 or 6 hours. Were those effects still there? And through the study, we learned that, yes, those effects were there.
The findings reveal as soon as 90 minutes after taking the edible, participants had their speeding control, lane discipline, and reaction time impacted. And almost 1/3 of participants using the simulator were in a collision.
If you inhale it, the effect is somewhat more immediate, whereas with edibles, it can be sometimes quite delayed.
Mad Canada says it's important to remember edibles are very different from inhaling cannabis. It says sometimes people can take an edible but don't feel the effect right away, then go on to take more and more, and the high doesn't kick in until they're on the road. It says young people are more prone to this lack of knowledge.
You can see that they're vastly overrepresented in crash deaths and fatalities because they sort of have that air of invincibility, though I'm a young person, nothing is going to happen to me.
Toronto police say in 2025, drugs represent about 10% of impaired driving arrests, a trend which has been steady for the past few years.
Don't drive after consuming drugs. Just don't do it. You will not understand the level of impairment.
CAA says its own study in Ontario this year showed 20% of drivers admitted to taking cannabis before getting behind the wheel, with research pointing to the growing issue of polyuse. This is when people combine cannabis with alcohol and increasingly other drugs, from painkillers to MDMA.
Especially ahead of the holiday season, to always drive sober. And if your plans do involve consuming alcohol or cannabis, that you're not the one that will be driving.
CAA says edibles are the most common and preferred form of cannabis consumption. It wants the education on its effects out there so behavior changes. Beth McDonnell, CTV News.
CTV News, Winnipeg is building another Toy Mountain, and you can help. New unwrapped toys can be dropped off for Toy Mountain on Saturday, November 29th at Access Storage on Lowson Crescent from 1 to 4 p.m. You can find a full list of all 2025 Toy Mountain events and drop-off locations on our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca.
Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
Outside this morning, it's -8 with winds out of the west-northwest, 9 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity sitting at 88%. And we're going to have pretty similar conditions to yesterday. We've got a few extra clouds hanging around. We're waiting for the sun to rise. 7:59. That's how much longer we'll have to wait for this actual sunrise. As far as the day glow goes, with these kind of extra clouds, we're not going to be seeing it well in advance, but maybe it starts to look a little bit brighter just after 7 o'clock. As far as the clouds go, though, they're probably going to hang around through a good chunk of the day. There will be moments of sunshine, very similar to yesterday, pockets here or there, but then also the possibility of some light and scattered snow. Mercury climbing to a high of -4 for today. It's milder than you would expect for this time of year. A seasonal daytime high would be -6. We are going to see these temperatures dropping off a little bit more, though. -10 is where we'll fall to overnight, so we are starting to move into those minus double digits. But for normal lows, -15 would be seasonal. We're going to deal with some stronger winds both today and still overnight. Still that possibility of a little scattered precipitation. And then tomorrow, -6. We're back to seasonal temperatures. We might see a little bit more sunshine, but after that, it only gets cooler yet. As we're sliding through the rest of the week, we'll eventually hit those double digits by the time the weekend rolls around, and then remain a few degrees below seasonal as we continue through much of next week.
A coalition of childcare providers is calling on the Canoe government to create more quality childcare spaces. While the group is pleased Manitoba signed onto Ottawa's $10 a day childcare program and has improved pay for early educators, it says the number of actual spots available is lacking. Citing data from a 2025 annual report, the coalition says Manitoba has childcare spaces for less than a third of the province's preschoolers. Nationally, the target is 59%. The numbers also show fewer than 4,200 new childcare spots have opened since Manitoba promised to create 23,000 by next year. Funds from the federal government's early learning and childcare agreement were pegged for this. However, advocates say there's an over-reliance on parents to spearhead new spaces and a lack of publicly owned and operated facilities.
There is public money to do this. We're showing that the province actually underspent by 10% this last year, so there's money there to put into this, as well as any public investment in childcare, research shows comes back to the public purse because parents are able to go to work, pay taxes, and the economic development is there for governments to earn back the money.
Tracy Schmidt, the Minister of Education and Early Childhood Learning, says the province is working to attract and retain childcare workers. Her statement says in part, quote, "Our government is taking a comprehensive approach by expanding spaces through partnering with schools, post-secondary institutions, health authorities, municipalities, and Indigenous governments, while also strengthening the workforce." Schmidt adds early childhood worker wages were raised by nearly $5 an hour, and facility operating grants got a 5% boost. $1.9 billion is flowing to the province over the next 5 years through federal childcare agreements. The Prime Minister offered an economic lifeline for the steel industry battered by Donald Trump's punishing tariffs. CTV's Judy Trin has more on the plan and the reaction.
The steel industry is teetering after half a year of enduring 50% tariffs imposed by Donald Trump.
Our order books are not being filled up at this moment because nobody's investing. It's such a real perilous time.
The new measures aim to further reduce the amount of foreign steel.
We must protect our workers and our industries who are most exposed to U.S. tariffs.
For the countries that Canada does not have a free trade agreement with, suppliers like China, Taiwan, India, Turkey, and the United Arab Emirates, they will now be limited to 20% of what they sold to Canada in 2024. The government estimates that could boost domestic steel sales by $850 million. Other countries with free trade agreements will be capped at 75% of what they sold last year. U.S. imports won't be capped, but all American steel products will face the 25% tariffs Canada previously imposed. The government will also subsidize the cost of transporting steel and lumber across provinces by rail.
The second broad way to drive transformation of our strategic industries is by becoming our own best customer.
To push Canada to buy from its own producers, the government will end remissions to companies hurt by American steel tariffs. The opposition leader criticized the measures.
He promised he'd negotiate a win with President Trump with a deal by July 21st. No deal, no win, no elbows.
Mark Carney says he'll see Donald Trump next week in Washington when he's there for a FIFA World Cup event, not to discuss trade. Carney says the U.S. has yet to indicate that it wants to resume talks.
If you've driven through southern parts of the city lately, you may have found yourself in the dark. Manitoba Hydro says it's been dealing with some street light outages along Abinogi-Mi'kmaq and Legimaziad over the past couple weeks. Here's a look at those roadways a few nights ago. Manitoba Hydro spokesperson Peter Chura says crews have been replacing old light standards with new ones along those stretches. However, there have been some installation issues, which Chura assures crews are working to fix. He adds Hydro often relies on Manitobans to report any outages.
This time of year, we really get a backlog of those kinds of reports because the days are shorter, there's more hours of darkness, people are noticing the streetlights are out and letting us know, which is the right thing to do.
Chura says if you come across a streetlight outage, head to Hydro's website and fill out a reporting form. Americans are celebrating Thanksgiving today, and we have one pet shelter in Chicago to thank for this adorable video. They shared this post of some of their dogs and cats enjoying their own Thanksgiving feast. They called it a feast of second chances, since many of their residents are survivors of neglect and illness. They're so cute. Taking a look now at what's happening in traffic at Confusion Corner. Looks like things are still moving quite well over here. Very light to start off at this point in the drive. If you see issues out there, please let us know. And let's look now at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.32. The provincial average is lower at $1.27. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.26. And the lowest price in the city is $1.17. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Ainsley McPhail is live at RBC Convention Center. It's the Winnipeg Christmas Market, and this is just a short glimpse of what you can find there. Stay with us for more.
It's so nice out here this morning. There's not much in the way of a wind. The temperatures themselves, they're not very cold. I mean, you've got to throw the extra layers on and be properly dressed for these temperatures, which are a little cooler than they were on the weekend, for example. But as far as what we're expecting this time of year, we're still above seasonal. And with that wind on the lighter side right now, it's so pleasant at this time. 9K winds out of the west-northwest. Our temperature itself sitting at -8. The pressure is rising. The humidity is sitting at 88%. A few extra clouds, not that I can see them. It's still pretty dark. The sun won't be rising until 7:59 this morning. But as I've been standing out here, not much, but I've been watching just a few flakes wafting around out here. We saw them yesterday into the evening time. It was looking quite stunning. Snow globe effect with them swirling around. But that's not the case at all right now. It's just every now and then you'll see a little something as far as a snowflake goes. But these temperatures, like I said, they're still very pleasant. They will continue to drop off, though, and we may still be in for some stronger winds throughout the day today. Those winds at times could be gusting to about 40 kilometers per hour. Make sure you've got a 2 candy if you're headed out. You'll want a little something on your ears if those winds do in fact increase. With some mainly cloudy conditions, we'll have pockets of sunshine and just maybe a little bit of light and scattered snow. It's going to be gorgeous. And we're headed out to a winter wonderland, perhaps, with Ainsley McPhail to find out what's going on. Hey, Ainsley.
Good morning. I see some Christmas trees here with snow on them, so maybe outside will match soon. But to get you in the holiday spirit, the Winnipeg Christmas Market. Monica Dirksen joins us to tell us all about it. Walking in, you can just feel the vibe. It looks spectacular in here, Monica.
Thank you. Yeah, we've added so many more lights this year, so much more decor. It's beautiful. It really sort of showcases the season nicely.
Mm-hmm. And when we talk about vendors, about 140.
Yeah, lots of new vendors this year, lots of returning vendors. All the artisans are Canadian handmade, so you can get a lot of local goods here. A lot of variety. Candles, books, games, clothing, jewelry, anything.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, I mean, it's in the name, great holiday gift ideas, but for everyone.
Yeah, all ages, and like I said, there's clothing for adults, but also for kids. There's ornaments, there's games, there's paintings. So yeah, really something for everybody.
And you mentioned kids, but not just in the gift giving. There's also an experience for them here. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, this is a full family event. So we have Santa coming every day for 4 hours. We have a kids zone where there's games and coloring books and things to do. So it really is a full family experience.
And if I'm hungry, there's also a full food experience as well.
Yes, we've got lots of food trucks. We've got some beverage options. We've got some new ones this year. We've got some returning ones. So I think there's something for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Everything Canadian. I know that we hammer it home all the time, shop local. But this is giving people an opportunity to put their money where their mouth is.
Absolutely. And by doing this, you're supporting local artists. You're supporting small business. This is really kind of the pinnacle of how to do Canadian well.
When it comes to the X's and O's and all the details of it, what do you want people to know?
So obviously you can check out our website, winnipegchristmasmarket.com. We're here from Thursday till Sunday every day. Like I said, Santa's here every day, so check out our Instagram for more details on when. And we're at the Convention Center in the South Building on the 3rd floor.
Thank you so much, Monica. This is Your Morning Winnipeg. We'll see you soon.
On the early markets this morning, the Dow Jones is down 20 points. The Nasdaq and S&P index are flat. The Canadian dollar is slightly up at 71.20 cents U.S. The Hang Seng is up 17 points, and the Nikkei jumped 608 points. Good morning. It is 6:46. A series of threatening incidents in the RM of Alexander have left municipal staff, including the mayor, on edge. The final straw is a grader working on a local road being hit with a bullet. CTV's Jeff Keel shows us what happened.
A rural municipality northeast of Winnipeg is worried staff and elected officials are being intimidated.
It's just a terrible thing. Do you want to go to work and think that you're going to be shot at every day? It's very concerning.
Earlier this month, a public works employee from the RM of Alexander was operating this grader on a road.
He heard a bang, but just thought it was a noise from operating the grader.
But after a closer inspection, he found this hole on the side of the grader. A bullet pierced through this mesh door, believed to be from a high-powered rifle. Mayor Jack Briscoe says no one is supposed to be hunting in the area where the grader was struck. He says they're all on edge wondering if this was intentional.
We are taking it as a threat, and it is being dealt with that way because it is very serious.
RCMP say they are investigating the incident. The RM says this is the first of many suspicious incidents they've dealt with over the last year and a half. The mayor says a lagoon project and another development plan may be causing tensions to rise. In March 2024, a municipal staff member had a red target spray painted on their vehicle. The next month, signs were damaged. The RM says their emergency coordinator has faced harassment and inappropriate social media posts have plagued the RM. The RM says the greater incident is the last straw. They've installed security cameras at their office.
Like, people are scared to drive to do their job in the RM. And there was talks of they wanted 2 people to be in the vehicle together so they're not alone.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Mounties are continuing to investigate the shooting. RCMP say there's no indication the spray painting and damaged signs are connected. The mayor is urging people to come forward if they have any information. The suspect connected to the shootings of 2 National Guard members near the White House has now been named.
The reason that this suspect is in custody is because of the bravery of the men and women of the National Guard who responded due to their extensive training.
The 2 West Virginia Guard members were on patrol when they were shot. Authorities are calling this a targeted ambush. Both Guard members remain in critical condition. The suspect has been named as Amenullah Lakenwal. He arrived in the U.S. in 2021 under an asylum program aimed at protecting Afghans after the U.S. withdrawal. President Donald Trump is now calling for all immigration requests from Afghanistan to be suspended.
We must now re-examine every single alien who has entered our country from Afghanistan under Biden.
President Trump has also ordered 500 National Guard members to Washington, in addition to the more than 2,000 already in the city. A new report says demand is rising for non-alcoholic drinks in Canada. The report from the Conference Board of Canada, funded by the Canadian Beverage Association, says households spent $12.5 billion on non-alcoholic drinks in 2024. That's 3% above pre-pandemic levels. The research also shows consumer preferences have been shifting toward drinks with ingredients that carry health benefits, reduced sugar, organic certification, and plant-based ingredients. Curling action continues at the Olympic qualifiers in Halifax, and at least one Manitoba team will be heading to this weekend's playoffs. On Wednesday night, Gimli's Carrie Anerson dropped a 7-6 decision to Rachel Homan's team. Both teams finished the round robin with a 6-1 record and will be moving on to the playoffs. They'll be joined by Christina Black's team from Halifax, which edged out Manitoba's Kate Cameron 10-6. On the men's side, Winnipeg's Matt Dunstone took on Saskatchewan's Mike McEwen. McEwen took this one 9-5. The only other Manitoba men's team at the tournament, Winnipeg's Jordan McDonald, fell by a score of 8-6 to Team Ontario. Some road closures to remind you about this morning. Following the rush, the northbound right turn lane will be closed on Kenniston at Taylor. The southbound curb lane of Balmoral Street is closed between Quappel and Ellis. The curb lanes will be closed on Balmoral Street from Broadway to Granite. If you have any other traffic tips to share, please text them to us at 10400.
Looking outside now, it's -8. Feels like -12, but that breeze is very light. It's a 9K wind out of the west-northwest with the pressure rising and the humidity sitting at 88%. We've got a few clouds hanging around. Every now and then I'll see a flake or two of snow. That's pretty much what we can expect around the province today. Extra clouds. There will be pockets of sunshine. Those pockets will be moving as the day goes on, as clouds move in and clear. But the temperatures, they're still slightly above seasonal for where you are in the province. Now, that might still mean some minus double digits, but a degree or two above what you might expect this time of year. I don't know why our icons keep showing a little bit of a rain-snow mix. You're not likely to see anything other than frozen precipitation. So some flurries likely throughout much of northern Manitoba, but again, those pockets of sunshine. Every now and then you'll see a chance of a little bit brighter of a sky. Again, just a reminder that these values are still above what you would expect for this time of year, and that includes here through southern Manitoba. Central Manitoba is getting closer to those more seasonal temperatures of -6. Further that you go into the south, -4. Those are the averages that we're going to be reaching today. And again, moments of sunshine or mainly cloudy, but that possibility of some light and scattered snow, not amounting to too much, not lasting very long. Further to the east of us, again, that chance of precipitation, but also, again, some pockets of sunshine that we'll be seeing here or there. Throughout the rest of this week, these temperatures will slowly and steadily be dropping off back to the seasonal -6 for tomorrow, and even dipping below that as we're moving into the weekend and looking further into next week. It looks like we've got a stretch of days that are below what you would expect this time of year.
Thank you, Terry. A new study is shedding light on the human brain and how it matures as we age. And it turns out the adolescent period may be more important than we thought. ABC's Lionel Moise explains.
This morning, a new study giving a closer look into how our brains develop as we age.
Welcome to the Eras Tour.
While this was not sponsored by the Swifties, researchers found the brain has 5 eras that are split by 4 turning points where the wiring and organization of our brain shifts. It happens at these ages: 9, 32, 66, and 83.
We're sort of taking a Taylor Swift approach to brain development. The brain is constantly remodeling itself, improving itself, fine-tuning its connections.
From when we're born to when we're 9, scientists say we're in the childhood phase where gray and white matter grow rapidly. Next, the adolescence phase that lasts until about 32, which is longer than researchers previously thought. That's when communication networks are refined, leading to better cognitive performance. Scientists stress during this phase, it doesn't mean people in their 20s act like teens, but it is a major period of change.
The brain is undergoing a general pattern of reorganization and development, but certainly adolescence, as it pertains to our biology and our bodies and our psychological development, remains the same. This also happens to be the years where a lot of mental health problems start to declare themselves. So I think that gives us a new sort of direction in terms of the research on this.
Adulthood is from our early 30s to 60s, and scientists say this is the biggest shift when the brain starts to stabilize with a possible plateau in intelligence and personality. Then at age 66, we start the early aging phase, followed at 83 with the late aging phase, both showing a decrease in brain connectivity. Scientists say this study, which looked at brain scans of thousands of people, could help research more ways to keep our minds healthy.
Doctors say we already know some ways to improve brain health, including exercising, eating healthy, sleeping, managing stress, and maintaining healthy relationships. Lionel Moise, ABC News, New York.
The countdown to Christmas is on, and Vancouver's TransLink service is getting into the spirit of the season.
You've had a long day at work and you just need something to pick you up. One thing you're probably not expecting is a reindeer to suddenly show up at your bus stop and take you home. And that alone can really make someone's day.
Their reindeer bus fleet comes complete with antlers and red noses, and they're back on the road now. They're also marking 40 years of their Toys for Tots campaign. TransLink is accepting unwrapped gifts for kids until December 16th. It's the end of an era for an iconic East Kildonan bowling alley, which has been a landmark on Henderson Highway for decades. Roxy Lanes, originally the Roxy Theatre, first opened to the public on Christmas Eve in 1929. Now the 96-year-old red bricks are slowly getting dismantled piece by piece as the Manitoba Métis Federation has new plans for the space. CTV's Joseph Bernacki has more on the bowling lane's lasting legacy.
Winnipeg bowler Jeff Bourne says he is sad to see this piece of history hit the chopping block.
It's terrible to see the demolition of another bowling alley. Unfortunately, bowling alleys are not the highest and best use of space, and they're getting scraped.
Bourne loves 5-pin bowling and hits the lanes twice a week. He remembers a time when Roxy Lanes held an annual nationally televised tournament. He rolled in the event that began in the mid-1980s.
We had a few Winnipeg champions. I made the final show in 1995. So it was a nice party for about 20 years.
The East Kildonan Bowling Alley closed its doors April 2022. It was then purchased by Manitoba Métis Federation. Now, a full demolition has begun on the building as the MMF plans to turn it into a mixed 55-plus residential and commercial space. The MMF says the new space will address the need for affordable senior housing.
Our seniors, our elders, that's the priority we should be focused on. So this particular building is going to continue on with that.
The bowling alley was once home to the 1,200-seat Roxy Theatre, which first opened Christmas Eve 1929. Cindy Tugwell, Executive Director of Heritage Winnipeg, brought her 3 sons to bowl here over the years. She says there was a missed opportunity by the city to save the 96-year-old building.
I think we forget that when we tear these buildings down, you're taking those memories and that history away from that neighborhood.
Tugwell points to the success of uptown lofts that replaced the former Academy lanes. Goodon says the demolition will take some time due to the potential presence of asbestos and other toxic materials. They would like to have the new space complete in 2026. He says they found the original projector intact in the basement. They are hopeful they can salvage it along with the building's original signage and perhaps find it a new home.
It's got to be worth something to somebody. So, and if that's the case, then we can absolutely work with any partners that want to preserve something like that.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
We're going to take a quick break here. We'll be back after this. It's Thursday, November 27th. Today, health system strain. New national data shows nearly 25,000 Canadians died while waiting for procedures. Plus, Hong Kong fire tragedy. Dozens dead and hundreds missing as crews battled the massive blaze at an apartment complex. And fast fashion safety alert. A new study raises concerns about items sold on Temu and Shein. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Thursday. It is 7 o'clock. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. At 7:52 in our Community Connection, we're going to tell you about an organization. It is called Réseau Compassion Network, and they've been around for many, many years, helping to support people in the community, but also they've been putting together Christmas hampers. And when they began 30 years ago, they only had like 12 families. Now they're way beyond that. So we're going to find out a little bit more on how you could support them and what the need is this year and what you could do to sponsor a family. But it's certainly feeling like Christmas. It's looking maybe a little bit more like Christmas out there as well.
I'm actually so stoked about this. The flurries, they just put me in such a mood last night, and I've been buzzing on that festive high ever since. It was swirling around like a snow globe yesterday evening. That is not at all the case, but every now and then seeing a flake or two of snow. It's -8 this morning, and that wind still on the lighter side overall. It's 9 kilometers per hour out of the west-northwest. The pressure is rising and the humidity is sitting at 88%. Now, we might still see a few scattered flakes of snow just here or there. When I was upstairs on the rooftop about 10 minutes ago, I'm seeing like just 7, 8, definitely not enough to say it's snowing, but just enough that it, I don't know, puts a smile on my face. It's nice to see. Now, we'll also deal with some mainly cloudy conditions and moments of sunshine here or there. And those conditions will pretty much be that case around the province. You can see right now the clearer spots are here through southwestern and northeastern Manitoba. The temperatures, no matter where you are, above what you would expect for this time of year. So if your normal daytime highs are well into the minus double digits, you're just barely into the minus double digits today across parts of the northeast. Here in the south, where -6 is seasonal, many of us are going to be around -4, -3 degrees. So again, again, just a couple degrees above seasonal. Now, you can see the mainly cloudy conditions, the scattered snow that'll be making an appearance off and on through the day, maybe a little bit clearer into the evening time, a few more clouds again for tomorrow. The conditions pretty much more of the same. Again, more of that very scattered precipitation that could be making an appearance, just touch and go with the flurries, and slowly cooling with the temperatures. -4s are expected high for today. -6 is in fact normal, and after that, that decline continues to carry us to below seasonal temps this weekend. Remy is the artist that we have to thank for today's work, and we would love to see more of whatever it is you're working on. So draw, color, or paint for us and send that picture to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
The Weather Art of the Day is brought to you by 103.1 Virgin Radio.
Police are investigating after partial human remains were found in a back lane in the North End. Someone reported finding the remains at around 1:30 Sunday afternoon in the 600 block of Selkirk Avenue. The homicide unit is investigating the death as suspicious. Police weren't able to provide any details about the person's identity. Anyone with information is asked to contact the homicide unit or Crime Stoppers. There's an alarming new glimpse into the state of the health system. The number of patients who've died waiting for medical care. CTV's Heather Wright reports.
Debbie Fuster had survived breast cancer and expected a full recovery from triple bypass surgery. Except the Manitoba woman died before ever having the procedure.
It still feels like shock.
Daniel Fuster says doctors told his mom she needed heart surgery within 3 weeks. She was left waiting for nearly 3 months.
There was some major mess ups that resulted in her file basically not going to where it needed to go.
Fuster is not alone. According to public policy think tank secondstreet.org, nearly 25,000 patients died in Canada while waiting for surgeries or diagnostic procedures between April 2024 and March 2025. But the organization warns the numbers are likely higher, as many provinces don't track these deaths or only collect partial data.
Fundamentally, these are embarrassing numbers, and I think that's why governments are not keen to go out and track them carefully.
Second Street is calling on all provinces and territories to track and disclose these deaths. They also want to see hospital funding tied directly to performance, a reform they believe will improve wait times.
It's crazy to keep doing the same thing, throwing money at the system and hoping something will change.
Another proposed reform is Debbie's Law, a Manitoba private member's bill championed by the Fuster family, which would require health authorities to inform patients when life-saving treatment cannot be provided in a timely manner.
Debbie's Law is not perfect. It's not going to solve every problem, but it is a great starting point to begin asking for transparency.
This year's numbers mark a 3% increase from last year, and according to Second Street, since 2018, more than 100,000 people have died in Canada while waiting for some sort of surgery or procedure. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
The province is partnering with the federal government to spend more than $6 million to prevent gender-based violence. The money will be spread out among 32 separate initiatives working to end gender-based violence and provide support for victims. Families Minister Nahanni Fontaine says the cash will augment the $22 million the province is already providing to agencies. This includes funding for women's shelters, transitional housing, and resource centers.
Survivors have gained autonomy, confidence, and meaningful opportunities to rebuild their lives.
Fontaine says in the past year, more than 27,000 Manitobans have accessed services funded through the provincial program. 41% of those people were in rural, remote, or northern areas. 911 calls to police from Winnipeg's libraries dropped from 23 in 2024 to 9 this year. It's just one of the findings in a new report at City Hall. According to the report, there was a total of 293 incidents of various types between July and September of this year. That's a nearly 24% drop from the same period a year ago. The incidents reported include everything from inappropriate behavior to alcohol and substance use and thefts. 90 of the reported incidents came from Millennium Library, a 57% drop from 2024. The report also shows a slight decline in visitors to all libraries, with Millennium Library seeing an 18.5% drop. It blames the drop on the reduction of hours in September of 2024 and speculates the end of buses operating on Graham Avenue may have also had an impact on traffic to the library. At least 55 people have died in that apartment complex fire in Hong Kong, and hundreds of people are still missing. This morning, crews are working to put out the last remnants of the fire more than 24 hours after it started. Fire tore through 7 out of 8 buildings in the complex. 3 construction company executives have been arrested as an investigation has been launched into the renovation project that was happening at the site. Nearly 300 people are still missing. Families are waiting for news. More than 4,600 people live at the apartment complex, many of them seniors. Survivors have been moved to emergency shelters, unsure of what's going to happen next. The Hong Kong government is planning to set up a $50 million relief fund. The Winnipeg Police Service is rolling out a new electronic ticketing system. The service says the new system is being phased in. If you're pulled over, you'll still be handed a printed ticket, but the big change is how they're created. Officers' smartphones can access the service's record management systems to enter offense information into a secure digital platform. The hope is this will boost accuracy and accountability while allowing officers to spend less time on paperwork. The Winnipeg Jets began a 5-game road swing Wednesday night in Washington against the Capitals. Late in the game, the Jets, down by 1, were hoping to force overtime and took this last-second shot.
Kyle Connor moving it to Scheifele. Scheifele weaving his way through, a shot on net, and Lindgren keeps it out.
So close. Despite Winnipeg's push, the puck was caught between the skates of Capitals right winger Tom Wilson, and Washington takes this one 4-3. Winnipeg's next game is Friday in Raleigh against the Carolina Hurricanes. Take note of the early start time on this one, 4 p.m. Manitoba time. Here's a look at what's happening in traffic along the Norwood Bridge. Things are moving quite well here. No issues to tell you about at this point in the drive. If you see any problems out there, though, please let us know.
Saskatchewan-based Nutrien, the world's largest potash producer, confirmed that it's looking to build a new export facility in Washington state, not Vancouver. Nutrien has set plans in motion to build a $1 billion export terminal at Washington's Port of Longview at a time when the federal government is pushing for built-in Canada infrastructure projects. Minister of Transport Stephen McKinnon has expressed disappointment in Nutrien's decision, saying he's trying to convince the company to reverse it. Shares in Puma jumped after a media report of a potential takeover from China's Anta Sports at a time when the German group is trying to turn its fortunes around in European morning trading. Other potential bidders could include Chinese apparel firm Li Ning and Japan's ASICS. Former Adidas executive Arthur Holt took the reins at the group earlier this year, and in October, he outlined a number of strategies aimed at returning the company to growth in 2027. Puma's shares are down more than 50% this year. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
The Winnipeg Christmas Market is on right now. Ainsley McPhail is live there at the RBC Convention Center. It's really beautiful to look at, even just behind you, Ainsley. Good morning.
Good morning, Rochelle. Isn't it spectacular? If you aren't in the holiday spirit yet, this is sure to catapult you right into it. About 140 vendors to see. There's even live music in a couple spots to get yourself into the holiday cheer. But of course, I can't bury it. Local businesses and a huge variety. As you can see here, we've got tote bags, hats, body butter, soap, Christmas ornaments. So stuff for the kids too. There's activations here for them, Santa Claus, and tons of food options. There will be door prizes for people, so we'll take you to the area there that you can see some examples of what you yourself could win. And once again, supporting local this time of year. It's not just about online, it's about your backyard.
Absolutely.
Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. And how's it feeling out there?
So pleasant. But nice. I mean, I say that because I've got the appropriate layers on that I need to be warm enough this time of year. The winds aren't that strong and they might continue to increase. So do make sure, if you're going to be leaving the house soon, that you are prepared for some stronger winds later on today. Every now and then I'm seeing just a snowflake wafting out here. Environment Canada is calling it straight up snow out at the airport. A little further west. I mean, it's a big city geographically, so maybe it is snowing there. I wouldn't call this snow. I'm seeing a flake or two every few seconds. -7 at the moment with the temperatures, with winds out of the west-northwest, 13 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 83%. okay, maybe I'm starting to see a few more flakes. I mean, it's increasing a little bit. And I mean, that's how it started yesterday afternoon. I was saying earlier, I was out driving around with my son and it was just barely snowing. He's like, this doesn't even count. And then sure enough, it was a full snow globe within 5 minutes time. So I guess we can, if snow is what you want, I guess we can hope for that to happen. The possibility of scattered flurries off and on throughout the day today throughout the entire province. There will be heavier clouds, sure, but some pockets of sunshine here or there. Temperatures today are still expected to be slightly above seasonal, cooler than they've been, but more than you'd expect this time of year. This will probably be the last of the above seasonal days because things are getting back to normal tomorrow and then cooling down from there.
Weather brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful, helping your home get holiday ready with blinds from Hunter Douglas.
Time now for our question of the day. We want to know, what's your favorite holiday song? You can text your answer along with your name to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response. It's time for our Pet of the Week reveal. This week we're celebrating a dynamic duo. This is Gatsby the dog and Cadeau the cat. Their family tells us the pair is inseparable. They enjoy playing together and love cozying up at this time of year. Congratulations to Gatsby and Cadeau. We love your Pet of the Week submissions, so keep them coming, please. Share a photo and a fun story of your pet, whether it's a dog, cat, bird, or anybody, at petoftheweek@ctv.ca, and then make sure to watch Thursdays to see if your pet is named our Pet of the Week. We're going to take a break here. We'll be back right after this. Good morning. The death of a woman who waited more than 30 hours for care in a Winnipeg hospital is being investigated as a critical incident. The woman's daughter posted to social media saying her mother visited a clinic for a swollen hand last weekend and was told to go to a hospital for further treatment. The post alleges the woman was left on a stretcher for 30 hours at the Grace Hospital, where her condition deteriorated. She was transferred to St. Boniface Hospital, where she died. The Winnipeg Regional Health Authority couldn't discuss details, but confirmed the patient's death has been deemed a critical incident and will be investigated. Health Minister Uzama Azaguera says they spoke with her daughter Wednesday.
It's very clear that a critical incident investigation and review needs to be done. But further to that, I believe that a more comprehensive investigation needs to be completed. We need to understand not only what happened here in as much detail as possible, we need to understand how we can prevent this from happening again to any Manitoba family. So I did share that with her this morning. We're going to keep the family up to speed in terms of how this proceeds, but you know, these incidents are devastating and they are also unacceptable.
CTV News has reached out to the woman's daughter. We have not yet heard back. New research suggests raccoons living in cities show signs they could become domesticated. An assistant professor at the University of Arkansas at Little Rock began studying the possibility after noticing raccoons digging through trash on campus. He started to observe how comfortable they seemed in the urban setting. Scientists have previously discovered when animals become domesticated, some of their features evolve, such as developing shorter noses, smaller teeth, and curly tails. In this case, researchers examined hundreds of photos of raccoons and found urban raccoon snouts were 3.6% shorter than ones in a rural area. Interesting. Here's a look now at what's happening in the drive along McPhillip Street. Things are moving well here. We have no issues to tell you about at this point in the drive. Time now for some entertainment news. Gordon Lightfoot fans got the chance to own some pieces of Canadian music history today. That song, The Auctioneer, which was covered by Lightfoot in 1980, appropriate for the auction of some of his personal belongings Wednesday in Toronto, which included costumes, set lists, musical equipment, and instruments, including this guitar that was featured prominently on albums near the end of his career. It sold for $380,000. Richard Courtney has a few jobs. One of them is curating his in-home Beatles museum.
I have about 5,114 items. I've really been collecting since I first heard of the Beatles in 1963.
The items in his museum includes original copies of the She Loves You EP that was sent to the DJs in the U.S. He even has a brick from the original Strawberry Field, which was an orphanage behind John Lennon's aunt's home. Richard has even welcomed members of the Beatles' orbit to his home, and he's met Paul McCartney before. Richard says when he retires from his other work, he'll still be building up his home collection. After the success of the two Wicked movies, Universal is reportedly considering plans for a sequel. Wicked for Good brought in nearly $150 million US across North America in its opening weekend. That marked the best opening ever for a Broadway adaptation. Universal Pictures Chief Marketing Officer Michael Moses has now told Vulture that things are underway to tell a new story set in that same version of The Land of Oz. He added that there are still details to be figured out. Are you ready for some football? Your primetime lineup starts at 7 with Football Night in America. Then catch the Bengals versus Ravens, and Children Ruin Everything wraps up the night at 10:30. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
The CTV Primetime lineup is brought to you by Strictly Amish, exclusively in Arborg, Manitoba.
Well, okay, I just want to say, a sequel in The Land of Oz,
yes.
While intriguing, I'm like, are you serious? So last year I went to see Wicked when it came out. I had no idea that it was 2 parts. The way that I felt betrayed when we got to the end, and I kind of just kept looking at the clock. I'm like, this is long, and I know the show, right? So I was like,
okay.
Are we
See, I
gonna
didn't
wrap
know the
this
show.
up?
So when it ended, I was like, that was pretty good. And then when I found out there was a second one, I was like, what?
Well, I was like, where's Act 2? I was mad. So I'll obviously have to go and see it this year. So fine, you got me. I'm heading back to the theater again. But now they're like, oh, we're going to do another sequel. It's like,
you're going to go.
Guys. Well, of course I will.
Yes.
All right, taking a look outside right now through the Bath Fitter Live. Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. See, when you pay attention to movies and like while they're being made, Catherine Dow is like a movie buff, and she knew that there were 2 parts to it. How did I not know this? Because I go in a little bit daft to these movies. Anyway, let's take a look around the province and see where these temperatures are at this morning, because it is still mild and very pleasant. -6 is where we're sitting right now. That's well above seasonal, -15. So we're almost 10 degrees above what you would expect for this time of year. You can see it's a little bit cooler over in Brandon, hitting in those minus double digits. But for the most part, all of southern and even central Manitoba is still in minus single digits this morning, moving further up into the north. And you can see, yes, minus double digits. But to reference that with what is seasonal, around -20, you two are doing okay. Now, heavier clouds, they're going to be noticed across the province today with just enough breaks in them that there will be moments of sunshine. If you thought yesterday was pleasant, more of the same. You'll like it. There will be still that wind increasing. It might have a little bit of a bite to it. And there could again be some scattered flurries. I've been watching just a few of them falling as I've been up on the rooftop so far this morning. And when we look throughout the day today, these temperatures will be rising still. -7 as the kids get settled into the classroom, -6 at lunchtime, -4 when they're headed home. That -4, our expected high, 2 degrees above seasonal. -6 is in fact a normal daytime high. We'll get there tomorrow, sliding beyond that. Brighter for the weekend, but certainly cooler, and it's going to stay that way into next week. Our weather picture, absolutely stunning shot of the sun rising over in the Knee Lake area. Thanks to Wayne for the photo, and keep them coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Thank you, Terry. CTV News Winnipeg is building another Toy Mountain, and you can help. New unwrapped toys can be dropped off for Toy Mountain on Saturday, November 29th at Access Storage on Lowson Crescent from 1 to 4 p.m. You can find a full list of all 2025 Toy Mountain events and drop-off locations on our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. Tighter budgets around the holiday season means people are looking for bargains and potentially turning to 2 fast fashion websites based in China. However, a new study is raising safety concerns about items being sold by online retailers Temu and Shein. CTV's Kelly Craig reports.
With Black Friday and Christmas, for many, it's the season to spend. But according to the Retail Council of Canada, Quebecers plan to buy 20% less than last year. And that could mean turning to this. Shein and Temu are both Chinese-owned sites where items can sell for next to nothing.
It's ultra fast fashion. When you have the possibility to develop and to sell more than 7,000 products a day, it's huge.
A study done by International Consumer Research and Testing tried out 162 products from both sites, including toys for children under 3 years old, USB chargers, and necklaces. Out of the toys, 30% from Temu had a major defect, and only 1 was deemed passable. When it came to Shein, 37% had a major issue, and not 1 of the tested toys passed. Marie-Ève Schaffer from the consumer publication Protégez-vous says during testing, some small pieces broke off and presented a choking hazard. They also found one of the toys could emit a noise of 515 decibels, equal to a jackhammer. Nearly all of the USB chargers from both sites had a problem. One of the major issues there was overheating. And for the necklaces, the vast majority passed, with only one issue from Temu, with Shein being more unreliable. The tests were done in Europe, but many of the safety standards are close to Canada's. Shein responded to CTV saying the products were sold through its website by a third-party vendor. It says it removed the items and commissioned its own testing. As for Temu, it could not meet our deadline. The findings come as more Quebecers turn to these low-cost websites. A recent survey found in the latter part of last year, 1 out of every 5 Quebecers bought something on Temu. Now it's 34%. For Shein, it went from 16 to 25%. People have tight budgets and want to get the most bang for their buck, says Schaffer. But if it poses a risk, is it worth it?
Maybe we have to wait and to have an accident to see something coming from the government. But right now, nothing.
Consumer groups urge shoppers to be careful with their giving, so you know what you're really getting. Kelly Gregg, CTV News.
Ainsley McPhail is live at the Winnipeg Christmas Market, and this is a beautiful item you could buy there. We'll have more details after the break. Stay with us. Let's go back now to the Winnipeg Christmas Market, where Ainsley McPhail is live this morning. You showed us some really cool things on the break, just before the break there, Ainsley, that card. There's so many other things to choose from.
Even to look at, Rochelle, even for the experience, I'm such a kid. I was laying down, there's this giant orb, and I laid on the red carpet. Someone walked by and said, well, this is usually what the kids do, but I guess if you're a big kid, it's totally going to make your morning. So tons for them to see if you come to the Winnipeg Christmas Market as well. Also, tons to taste. I cannot believe the variety. Monica's joining me once again. What is available, Monica?
Yeah, we've got food trucks, we've got beverage options, we've got desserts, we've got salty, we've got sweet, we've got coffee, and we've got drinks for adults and kids.
Sip, munch, and shop. It's the best idea out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, there's mocktails here too. We're at Nomad Box Bar. Tell us about some of these mocktails that have been prepared already this morning.
Yeah, all of the drink options are available with or without alcohol, so they're great for kids and adults alike. We have hot apple cider, we've got jingle juice, a mimosa, and an apple sour, and that's just a sampling of what we've got available. So really lovely festive options available, and like I said, with or without alcohol, so they're available to everybody.
And tons of food experiences on the outskirts too. Anything local that you want to highlight for us?
Well, they're all local, so we're excited about that. Some new ones this year are wacky waffles, so you can get a waffle with a sprinkling of candy cane on top. We've got a coffee vendor, so you know, if you're coming earlier in the morning, you're good to go. We've got some gourmet cheese, grilled cheese sandwiches. We've got Bannock Factory, Wagyu Wagon, and we've got a charcuterie boards from Boards and Bites. So really a good variety.
And before we go, the vendors, almost 140.
Yes, exactly. There's, again, for shopping, you can get everything from candles to pajamas to decor to paintings. So really a good experience to come and experience all of it.
Super quick. What are the dates?
Today until Sunday, and we're here every day on the 3rd floor of the new building of the Convention Center.
Thank you so much. And I'll just be laying in the orb for the next 2 hours.
Okay, I'm not surprised. Enjoy. Thank you, Ainsley. And you know, some people might want some snow or a little bit of precipitation to feel like they need to get into the festive spirit, and we might just get some.
We just might. We got some yesterday. I got pretty excited about it when it started to happen. My son was waiting for it. There are some people that are like waiting for this snow, and I think as we get closer into the holiday season, a lot of people like the idea of flurries or a white Christmas. Anyway, -7, that's where we're sitting right now, and there are just a few flakes out there. It's not the full snow globe effect like we saw last night, but a little bit of activity here or there. Winds, they're out of the west-northwest. They're 13 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity is sitting at 83%. So as far as what you can expect today around the province, the conditions are very much going to play out as they did yesterday, with northern Manitoba right down into the south seeing some heavier clouds with maybe moments of clearer conditions. And then at 7:59, I'll talk about sunnier conditions. That's what time the sun is officially rising this morning here in Winnipeg. So moments of sunshine, but that chance of scattered flurries is really just going to be touch and go. It's not going to amount to too much or last very long in any one place, but that possibility is there. As the mercury rises to a high of -4, well, that's actually still a couple degrees above seasonal, -6, a normal daytime high. So in that sense, it's still very, very pleasant. That breeze will get a little bit stronger, up to about 40 clicks as it gusts out of the northwest, and that breeze still in place overnight as we drop down to -10. Still with the clouds, still that chance of scattered precipitation. More of the same really expected for tomorrow, but perhaps a couple degrees cooler. Maybe a few more pockets of sunshine. -6 our expected high, but winds should start to ease for tomorrow, which is good news, because if the temperatures are going to start to drop, you don't want the winds to be increasing. I mean, we know we're going to get that at some point this winter, but maybe not too soon for that. Anyway, it will get a little bit cooler and below seasonal as we're looking through the weekend and into the start of next week.
A coalition of childcare providers is calling on the Canute government to create more quality childcare spaces. While the group is pleased Manitoba signed on to Ottawa's $10 a day childcare program and has improved pay for early educators, it says the number of actual spots available is lacking. Citing data from a 2025 annual report, the coalition says Manitoba has childcare spaces for less than a third of the province's preschoolers. Nationally, the target is 59%. The numbers also show fewer than 4,200 new childcare spots have opened since Manitoba promised to create 23,000 by next year. Funds from the federal government's early learning and childcare agreement were pegged for this. However, advocates say there's an over-reliance on parents to spearhead new spaces and a lack of publicly owned and operated facilities.
There is public money to do this. We're showing that the province actually underspent by 10% this last year, so there's money there to put into this, as well as any public investment in childcare research shows comes back to the public purse because parents are able to go to work, pay taxes, and the economic development is there for governments to earn back the money.
C. Schmidt, the Minister of Education and Early Childhood Learning, says the province is working to attract and retain childcare workers. Her statement says in part, quote, "Our government is taking a comprehensive approach by expanding spaces through partnering with schools, post-secondary institutions, health authorities, municipalities, and Indigenous governments, while also strengthening the workforce." Schmidt adds early childhood worker wages were raised by nearly $5 an hour, and facility operating grants got a 5% boost. $1.9 billion is flowing to the province over the next 5 years through federal childcare agreements. A troubling development in a botulism outbreak south of the border that has sickened dozens of babies. Tests of ByHeart infant formula show that all of the company's products may have been contaminated. Laboratory tests of 36 samples of formula from 3 different lots showed 5 contain the type of bacteria that can lead to the rare and potentially deadly illness. The company made the announcement on its website. At least 31 babies in 15 states who consumed ByHeart formula have been sickened since August. The company issued a nationwide recall 2 weeks ago, but officials have said some products remained on store shelves. Health Canada announced a safety warning 2 days later, but said there's been no reports of illnesses here in Canada. Winnipeg could soon be home to a new McDonald's restaurant, unlike any you may have seen before. The global fast food giant has unveiled plans for a roughly 2,000 square foot drive-through only restaurant at the corner of Kenison Boulevard and Grant Avenue near the Superstore. A McDonald's executive told councillors at City Committee meeting this week it would be the first restaurant of its kind in Canada. Local franchisee Amit Kapoor says it would employ about 60 people, where regular McDonald's employs around 80.
If this prototype works, if it becomes successful, it will put Winnipeg on the roadmap, right? There's a lot of media attention which will go behind this. In fact, there'll be a lot of corporate people who would come out here, who would learn from this experience.
To go ahead, the project would need some zoning amendments. The City Centre Community Committee gave the plan the green light. It now needs clear full council. Some road closures to remind you about this morning following the rush. The northbound right turn lane will be closed on Kenniston at Taylor. The southbound curb lane of Balmoral Street is closed between Capel and Ellis. The curb lanes will be closed on Balmoral from Broadway to Granite. If you have any other traffic tips, text them to us, please. And here's a look at your gas prices now. The Canadian average is $1.32. The provincial average is lower at $1.27. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.26. And the lowest price in Winnipeg is $1.17. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Right now, it's -7 with the wind chill feels like -12. Your Morning Winnipeg is back after this break.
Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
When you give a child a winter coat, you give them the means to go to school on a cold day, a chance to play outside, because no child should be freezing cold. Donate to Coats for Kids. Proudly sponsored by United Way Winnipeg and CTV.
All right, starting to look a little bit brighter outside. Still a few minutes away from official sunrise at 7:59. 1 minute to 8 o'clock is when that sun finally starts to come up. -7 at the moment with winds out of the west-northwest, 13 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 83%. Now, this is interesting to make note that, I mean, we're 20 minutes away from the sunrise, less than. But we're only starting to see that glow, and that's because we've got some heavier clouds, whereas some days when it's completely clear, we're getting that glow almost an hour in advance of sunrise. But certainly not the case. You can see the extra clouds here on the satellite image and, well, outside, but it was still a little bit dark to really see those clouds. All across the province, though, mainly cloudy conditions. There are a few places that are on the clearer side for now, but it doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. You might enjoy a mix of sun and cloud, but pockets of sunshine around the province. Still, we'll likely see some heavier clouds at times, and other places with those clouds will come the scattered precipitation, but the temperatures, no matter where you are today, are still likely to be a little bit above seasonal. Not quite as mild as it's been for the past stretch of days. We've been well above normal, and we're starting to get closer to those more seasonal temperatures as things begin to cool down a little bit. So, for example, -6, that would be a normal daytime high throughout much of southern Manitoba. And while central Manitoba might end up at -6 today, here in the south, we're still likely to be a couple degrees above that. Now, we just saw how clear it was looking on the satellite image through the southwest. A little more sunshine expected there. We might see moments of sunshine, but overall on the cloudier side, we've been seeing just a few scattered flakes of snow, and we could see more of those off and on throughout the day today. You're seeing these temperatures, like I said, just a couple degrees above seasonal, and further to the east of us, very similar temperatures, but it will continue to cool down. By tomorrow, we're back to what is normal for this time of year, at least for the daytime highs. Our overnight lows are still above that, but it will continuously get a little bit colder as we're moving through the weekend and next week.
Thank you, Terry. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live at the Winnipeg Christmas Market at RBC Convention Center. So many handmade items to choose from there. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning, and who would have thought that there would be local art as well? There's so much sprinkled here, and we're going to tell you and even show you some of those items. Dana Konopelny joins us to tell us about all of the local artisans. I mean, we can't fit it all, though, right, Dana?
No, so I have a couple things on right now from Cedar and Vine and Christoph Pauly. We have beautiful clothing, something for everyone on your gift list. We also have paintings for your home, jewelry, things for kids, and lots of food. We have home decor and beautiful glasswork, really encapsulating all of the craft that we have in the market.
I didn't think that's where you were going to go with it when we said art, and you were like, it's actually on me. I love that. It looks amazing. People can win these. How so?
Yeah, so when you come, everyone that comes in will get a ballot, and you can enter that ballot in to win a gift card. And with that gift card, you can spend it anywhere you'd like. So if you see something ceramics or food, you can go in and purchase that if you win.
And this is the obvious thing to say, but they're really great gift ideas. That's the whole point. So who would you suggest gifting some of these items to?
Yeah, so, maybe for mom, for dad, for maybe even the person that you don't know very well, there's a lot of little small things that you can pick up to take with yourself to a holiday party, and you can also always just get yourself something as well.
With so many vendors, about 140 of them, people are putting their heart and souls into this. Do you see that firsthand?
Absolutely. So many of our artists, we see they share their work with us, and it's their passion, and it's great to hear their stories, and they're excited to share those stories with everyone that comes through the market.
There's a couple days people can take advantage of these awesome deals. When is it?
So we'll be here starting today, November 27th to November 30th on Sunday.
Thank you so much. Head to a link on our website for more details.
Thanks, Ainsley. Chronic kidney disease has been called a silent killer. That's because by the time symptoms start to show, it's often too late. One Alberta man has been up against the odds for decades as he advocates for early detection. CTV's Gates Guarin has his story.
When you have a transplant, you need to look after it by suppressing your immune system.
Sean Delaney has to take drugs every single day to make sure his body doesn't attack the kidney he received from a living donor.
I'm up to around 170,000 pills since my first transplant.
That transplant came when he was 27 years old, thanks to his younger brother.
It was a huge game changer.
Delaney has been dealing with kidney disease his whole life. He lost his left kidney when he was just a month old. The 54-year-old had a second transplant 5 years ago.
A wonderful friend of a friend who heard my story through a mutual acquaintance, she came forward and was my match.
Living with kidney disease has allowed Delaney to quickly pinpoint signs of declining health. For others, those signs come when it may already be too late. New data shows the death rate for Canadians with chronic kidney disease has increased by more than 70% since 1990.
What it tells us is that people that have kidney disease already, we're failing them. We're not detecting them in time.
The Kidney Foundation of Canada is calling for a national framework around kidney disease. They say a simple blood or urine test is enough to detect those warning signs.
So if we diagnose people earlier and we intervene earlier, then we have the opportunity to prevent people from ever needing dialysis or a transplant.
Delaney advocates for early detection. He says it honors the gift of life he was given. He has since gotten back to the things he loves most, spending time with his daughters and grandkids in the great outdoors. He had just completed a hike through Portugal and Spain, the weight of that moment not lost on him.
I walked nearly 200 kilometers. And the first text I sent when I got to the very end of it was to my second donor, Brenda, and I said, we made it, not I made it.
Delaney says he'll continue to fight the disease.
You can either let it take you down or use it as a motivator, and I choose the latter.
And encourages others to do the same. Gates Guarin, CTV News, Edmonton.
CTV News Winnipeg is building another Toy Mountain, and you can help. New unwrapped toys can be dropped off for Toy Mountain on Saturday, November 29th at Access Storage on Lowson Crescent from 1 to 4 p.m. You can find a full list of all 2025 Toy Mountain events and drop-off locations on our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. Let's see who's celebrating a milestone today. Happy birthday, Wayne Anthony, Love Dantry and Loco. Happy 60th birthday, Roger. Love and hugs from your family and friends. Happy 10th birthday, Marcus, with much love from Mom, Dad, and Aria. Happy 8th birthday to Renee, also known as Cookie, with love from the Liquette gang. And a happy 62nd birthday to Edna from your husband and all your family and friends. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you into our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff.
Milestones is brought to you by Party Stuff. 3 Winnipeg locations and at partystuff.ca. Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
All right, so I've been talking about these above seasonal temperatures, and still for yet another day, although you can also see that we're getting a little bit closer to what is normal, with a high today of -4 expected and -6 being normal for this time of year. Yesterday we were pretty much there, not yesterday, sorry, last year at -5.9 degrees, but 9 degrees, +9 back in 1998, although I'll still say it was just this past weekend. We were in the double digits. We hit 10 degrees, we smashed a record, and then it's only gotten cooler since then. And we'll continue to get cooler through the rest of the week. We're a lot closer to sunrise now, although we're not going to be seeing much of it, not with this heavy cloud coverage out here. Bright enough now that I can see how many clouds, and it's plenty, let me tell you that. -7 is where we're sitting right now with winds out of the west-northwest. They're 13 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising and the humidity sitting at 83%. Now with these clouds, we've already seen a few scattered flakes of snow, and we may still see a few more scattered flakes of snow. I really loved yesterday evening when that snow globe effect, I'm not sure if you happened to notice, it was around 7 o'clock, 7:30 or so, and all of a sudden snow just started swirling in these big fat flakes. They were the size of loonies. Obviously it didn't last really, or it didn't amount to much anyway. There's a little bit of white stuff that you can see out on the ground this morning perhaps, especially got tucked into the grass where it didn't quite melt off immediately. Anyway, possible scattered flurries off and on today, and temperature getting still slightly above seasonal.
The Compassion Network helps people connect with 13 different social and health services to ensure no one is left without the supports they need. 30 years ago, the nonprofit organization started a Christmas hamper program that served 10 families. But today, it supports 215 families. Joining us now to tell us more about the Réseau Compassion Network and its Christmas hamper program are Rachel Legal and Jocelyn Nicolas. Good morning to both of you, or hello to both of you.
Good, hello.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, Réseau, how did the Réseau Compassion Network start so long ago?
So Réseau Compassion Network is, we're a legacy of many of the women religious in Manitoba.
Okay.
So as the sisters sort of arrived at completion, there were less sisters. They created a nonprofit organization to carry on the work of love and compassion in healthcare. And that's what we try to keep going.
So how does that work right now today?
Yeah, so we've got organizations like St. Boniface Hospital and St. Amant. We have some rural locations as well. And we talk a lot about how folks show up. We talk a lot about the people who work in healthcare and how we care for each other and be in community, which is why Christmas Hampers makes a lot of sense for us.
So this Christmas Hampers program began with just 10 families.
With just 10 families, and now we're up to 215, which is equals to about 1,000 people.
Okay, so how did it get so big?
I guess the demand throughout the years, we go to the schools of St. Boniface, so there's 6 schools that we partnership with, and we talk to the principals, and they give us the names of the families, and I guess with a lot of newcomers also, that increases the amount of families we have, and also the bigger families. Back in the day, there was a lot of smaller families. Now it's quite big.
Okay, and then what does these hampers look like exactly? What's in there?
Oh, well, you know what we buy now? We buy gift cards for food.
Okay.
So this way, because you know there's halal, all kinds of different ways, like vegans and all. So it's more specific to every family. And also we phone all the children and talk to the children or talk to the parents to see what we could buy that child. So yeah, to make sure that the child gets a bit more what they really want for Christmas.
And what's really cool about this program is that someone can sponsor an entire family, right? To support you?
Yes, they can. So either through their work, they can choose to get together and sponsor a family and call us, and or through friends. Families get together instead of buying each other Christmas presents, they'll decide to sponsor a family. And also donations, financial donations.
And so when those hampers are delivered, describe to me the sense that you get from that family who receives a hamper.
Oh, very grateful. And I have to say, some people invite us for tea when you come in, and they'd love it if you stayed a while and talked.
Yeah.
And the children are always so excited, the parents too. You know, it's really heartwarming. Yeah, I love it.
And I'm sure you see a lot of kids' smiles. And could that be why it's expanding? More and more people are hoping to deliver that sort of joy at this time of year?
Yeah, I think so, for sure, because you get back a lot, you know? It's not only the giving, but you get, when you see their response, it's so, it gives you so much, how do you say?
Satisfaction.
Satisfaction.
You can tell we're French, Rachel.
Yes, I get it. So let's talk about how people can support you. What if they do want to sponsor a family, how do they get involved?
Yeah, so if you go to our website, réseaucompassionnetwork.ca, right on the homepage, there's a little button that talks about Christmas hampers. So folks can either make a donation that way, or the contact information is if you want to take on a whole family, that would be wonderful. And those emails go to Rachel, who's pretty nice, and she'll take care of you.
And do you get to meet these families who want to sponsor others?
Oh,
like, do you work
yes.
together when you put these hampers
A lot
together?
of them I know who are sponsoring. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so again, if you want more information, we do have a link on our website where you can support the cause and be supportive as well. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. Merci beaucoup.
And thank you.
Thank you. Merci.
Community Connection is brought to you by Mr. Reuter Plumbing. Born to be a hero, trained to be a plumber.
Hello there, Matt Scooby with you inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. For that, we will head to Anaheim, where the Canucks were taking on the Ducks. Brock Besser going to chase down the loose puck and find Connor Garland, and he does the rest. Undressing the defender and Peter Mrazek for a beautiful goal. Garland stick handling in a phone booth. A little dangle. His 6th of the season. He earns your must-see moment from Wednesday. Well, today on TSN, it's American Thanksgiving, so we've got a full slate of NFL action starting with the Packers and Lions at 11 a.m. Eastern on TSN 1 and 4. And that's it from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
The TSN Must-See Moment is brought to you by Super Blinds, helping your home get holiday ready with Blinds by Hunter Douglas.
And here's a look at what's happening now on Portage Avenue. Things are moving well here. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back after this with your 8 o'clock headlines. It's Thursday, November 27th. A critical incident probe is launched into a patient's recent death. How long did that person spend waiting for care in a Winnipeg emergency room? Sector relief, what's contained in Ottawa's latest package of targeted supports for Canada's resource producers, and which countries will see their exports to Canada throttled back under the new plan. And the supply of visitors to this museum dried up amid cross-border tensions. So like water off a duck's back, the collection simply migrated north to follow its biggest fans. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It's 8 o'clock on your Thursday. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. At 8:15, we're going to have our monthly chat with Premier Wab Kinew. And then at 8:45, we're going to have a Christmas fair. Osaraduck is having a Christmas fair this weekend. And boy, oh boy, do they have some really cool items at this fair. So they're going to show us a few. They're just going to give us a sneak peek.
Okay.
It's going to be incredible. So stay tuned for that. But the weather, it's not bad.
Yeah, Mother Nature gave us a little sneak peek of winter yesterday, and it just got me buzzing. Honestly, I didn't think that I was missing the snow until I saw the snow, and then I was like, ooh, that looked fun. I'm not sure if you noticed yesterday evening, big fat snowflakes swirling at about 7:30, 8 o'clock. Now, obviously, it didn't amount to too much. You might notice a little bit of snow left on the lawns this morning. And so far this morning, there's been a little bit of activity, but nothing like what we saw last night. Just a few flakes here or there. Still, our temperatures remain above seasonal. We're sitting at -7 right now, with winds out of the west-northwest, 13 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity sitting at 83%. But yeah, that snow yesterday gets you in the mood for the season. And we're playing Christmas carols this morning too. I am super excited about the cooling weather and the possibility of some flurries. Less so the cooling weather. I would like it to stay right about where it's at. But a few more flakes of snow, I wouldn't be mad about that, and we might see those few more flakes. Right now, we're just looking at some heavier clouds, but the possibility of scattered flurries off and on there. You can see some of that activity showing up. Just speckled and scattered around the province. There will be moments of sunnier conditions here or there, very similar to yesterday. You remember there were some clouds, there was then some moments of sunshine, and then there was that snow into the evening time. We can hope for more of that there again for tomorrow. Some scattered precipitation showing up. Probably, once again, not amounting to too much, but what we will notice for sure are these temperatures cooling down. -4 still keeps us above seasonal. -6 is a normal daytime high. After that, we will be watching the mercury dropping off as we're looking ahead to the weekend. And our art today is all thanks to Remy, and we appreciate what you've drawn for us or colored for us today. So we'd love to see more of your art. Take those pictures of it and send it to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
The Weather Art of the Day is brought to you by 103.1 Virgin Radio.
The death of a woman who waited more than 30 hours for care in a Winnipeg hospital is being investigated as a critical incident. The woman's daughter posted to social media saying her mother visited a clinic for a swollen hand last weekend and was told to go to a hospital for further treatment. The post alleges the woman was left on a stretcher for 30 hours at the Grace Hospital, where her condition deteriorated. She was transferred to St. Boniface Hospital, where she died. The Winnipeg Regional Health Authority couldn't discuss details, but confirmed the patient's death has been deemed a critical incident and will be investigated. Health Minister Uzuma Azaguera says they spoke with her daughter Wednesday.
It's very clear that a critical incident investigation and review needs to be done. But further to that, I believe that a more comprehensive investigation needs to be completed. We need to understand not only what happened here in as much detail as possible, we need to understand how we can prevent this from happening again to any Manitoba family. So I did share that with her this morning. We're going to keep the family up to speed in terms of how this proceeds. But, you know, these incidents are devastating and they are also unacceptable. We can and must do better.
CTV News has reached out to the woman's daughter. We have not yet heard back. Prime Minister Mark Carney has announced a slate of new measures to help and protect the steel and lumber industries as the trade war with the U.S. drags on.
What we're doing today is to reinforce that momentum with new strengthened measures to accelerate the transformation of the Canadian steel and lumber industries, to build strong domestic demand for their products, and to empower their workers and businesses to seize new markets at home and abroad.
Among the new measures is further limiting foreign steel imports from countries without a free trade agreement with Canada from 50 to 20% of 2024 levels. Freight rates for transporting Canadian steel and lumber interprovincially will be slashed by 50%, and a $500 million increase is earmarked for the previously announced softwood lumber development program, which gives companies access to government-backed loans totaling millions or $1.2 billion. Canadians stopped coming to them, so an American rubber duck museum is now coming to Canada.
Actually became a no-brainer to come to Canada. Like, we love Canada. That's why we moved to Point Roberts to begin with. Canada aligns more with our values.
Neil King is getting his ducks in a row as he and his wife Crystal prepare to open their new business at Tawasin Mills Mall in BC. The American couple opened their rubber duck museum in Point Roberts, Washington in July of 2024. But after U.S. President Donald Trump was elected, they say their foot traffic stopped, with a large amount coming from Canadians who no longer wanted to travel to the U.S. Here's what's happening now on St. Mary's Road. It looks like things are moving quite well over here, as you can see. No traffic tips to give you at this point. If you do see any problems out there, though, please let us know.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Open late, ready when you are.
Let's go back now to the Winnipeg Christmas Market, where Ainsley McPhail is live this morning. There is an area for kids there too, Ainsley. Good morning.
Good morning, Michelle. And I wanted to let you guys know off the jump, I am not a really big woman. This is just a really small chair.
Aww.
We're in the kids zone. We're having fun already. We're playing Connect 4, but there's a lot of other things here at the Winnipeg Christmas Market. Monica, tell us all about it while we play.
Yeah, we definitely want to encourage families to come out. There's something for everyone, all ages. Kids have this lovely zone that they can play in. There's games, there's coloring pages, there's puzzles to put together. So really a lot to do for everyone. And it's not just a shopping market for mom and dad, it's for everybody.
Mm-hmm. And you want them to know that it's for them. So there will be another guest, Santa Claus.
Yes. Santa's going to be coming every single day for 4 hours, so you can check our website and Instagram for the hours that he's going to be here. There will be photos that are free, both digital and printed out, so if you want to come get your pictures with Santa and not wait in line at the mall, this is a perfect place to do that.
Mm-hmm. And the gifts themselves, you can buy gifts for kids too.
Yes, absolutely. There's toys, there's games, there's clothes for kids. We've tried to include the family aspect in all of our planning.
It's your turn while I come up with another question for sure. No, just kidding. When it comes to the vendors, what else can people expect? Because the kids will be playing here, but you can really be a big kid elsewhere.
Yeah, there's lots to choose from. There's 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 clothing, there's jewelry, there's art, there's candles, everything that you could imagine. Like, you can get here.
Sorry, cameraman Kenny's like, Ainsley, it's your turn. I don't want to make her. This is really hard to do two things at once.
It really is.
Before we're out of time, anything else that we have not mentioned yet that you want people to know?
Well, like I said, we're here for 4 days, so your tickets are usable. If you buy one ticket, you can keep coming back. So if you see something one day and you can't quite make your mind up, come back the next day and
Thank you so much. It's really hard to focus, ask questions, and play, and then have a strategy behind it.
Well, you lost.
It's a tie. Everyone wins.
No, I think you lost. All right.
Did
Thanks, Ainsley. You did. Well, from heritage preservation to modern earthquake-proof foundations, the decade-long rehabilitation of Parliament remains the country's largest construction site. CTV's Tyler Fleming takes you inside for a look at the work happening at Centre Block.
From outside, scaffolds and cranes aside, the Centre Block of Canada's Parliament looks familiar. To know the depths of its restoration, you have to step inside. Starting 2 stories below, the old foundation is being dug out and replaced with an advanced earthquake-proof system.
The whole load of the building, all the way up from the very top, right down here, it's all been coming down through, transferred onto the steel beams, onto the steel piles, all the way down.
Above ground, work has begun to restore around 50 rooms to architect John A. Pearson's original post-1916 fire designs, like the Salon La Francophonie.
Senators would meet here after the session ended.
Once a smoking room, that's long gone, but its cathedral-like designs preserved.
If you look around, you can see a lot of the attention to detail that we will be bringing back to the space and maintaining the preservation of it.
A priority for the project is to source as much Canadian materials and labor as possible.
It means a lot to us.
Helping to restore woodwork, Indigenous-owned company R. Potvin Construction.
To add to the Indigenous community, bring it to light that we're here and available to learn and grow and be part of the whole system, you know.
When complete, the building will look as it always did, but high-tech modern systems behind the walls will ensure it lasts for generations to come. And buried out front, a new visitor center with classrooms, a theater, and cafe.
It will allow Canadians new and a transformed visitor experience of ways to connect with Parliament.
As the project moves into the next phase, its cost, originally around $5 billion, will soon be reassessed.
Once we're able to price out the design that's just been completed, we're able to reset and re-baseline.
In 2026, all of the Centre Block's exterior, including the Peace Tower, will be covered up until the project's near full completion around 2031. Tyler Fleming, CTV News.
And we're looking now through the Bath Fitter Live Eye. Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. So bright enough now, the sun is finally up and we can see those few clouds that are out there this morning. Temperature-wise, though, we are still above seasonal, even if we don't see too much in the way of sunshine for today. There will probably be moments of it. We're just not seeing it yet. What we are seeing is these temperatures now beginning to rise. -6 at the moment in Winnipeg, which, by the way, that would be a normal daytime high. It's not even 9 a.m. and we're already there. We will continue to make some nice gains today. It has been a little bit cooler over through the southwest. Well, more specifically Brandon. You're sitting at -13, but -15 would be a normal low temperature. So again, still above what you would expect this time of year. And all through central and southern Manitoba, most of us, with the exception of Brandon, are sitting in those mid to high minus single digits. It does look a little bit cooler across much of northern Manitoba. But again, compared to what is normal, -20s, you're doing okay. We've got the extra clouds hanging around. There's pockets where things are looking a little bit brighter this morning, and we might have moments of that sun shining through those clouds. But overall, it will be on the cloudier side today, but still these temperatures rising nicely. -5 as kids get settled into the classroom. Lunchtime, 4 degrees. No, pardon me, -4 degrees. And then up to -3 as we're looking through the day today. No, I just misspoke. That is the -4 on the screen there. Anyway, that's our expected high, but normals for this time of year would be -6. I mentioned that earlier, and so we will be above seasonal for today. Back to normal for tomorrow as we're hitting that -6 and then slowly cooling down, maybe even getting into those minus double digits at time, but a little more sunshine as the mercury starts to drop off. We're taking a break right now, but stick around. We'll be back in just a moment with Your Morning Winnipeg.
The The death of a woman who waited more than 30 hours for care in a Winnipeg hospital is being investigated as a critical incident. A second Manitoba hospital has been declared unsafe for nurses. The Thompson General Hospital was grey-listed in a vote by the Manitoba Nurses Union just last week. Joining us now for a monthly chat is Premier Wab Kinew. Good morning, Mr. Premier.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, what message do you have for Manitobans who might think that our healthcare system is in a crisis right now?
Well, there's a lot of work to do for sure. When you hear stories about the one, like the one that you mentioned off the top, for sure my heart goes out to that family. And in addition to the critical incident, we're going to do another layer of investigation there, because critical incident, it's really about learning what went wrong so that we can make improvements with the staff and the people in the hospital for the future. But this family wants answers. And so I think we got to do that additional layer of investigating what went wrong to find the answers for them. So we'll continue to do that. The Minister of Health has spoken to them. We'll continue to work with the family there. To everyone on the front lines, you're doing heroic work. We really, really appreciate it. And we continue to add staff. We got 3,500 more people working in the healthcare system. And we've reopened emergency rooms like the one in Carberry. The Vic is going into construction early in 2026. So we're moving ahead with repairs. And for the average person out there who's wondering about what they see in the media or wondering about the stories that they see on socials, what I would say is, you know, what is your experience with healthcare? I'd love to hear it. I'm thinking you have a new plastic health card in your wallet. You have the ability to book an appointment with a doctor online through medinav.ca. And we're making some important changes to HealthLinks too. So HealthLinks, for many years, you've been able to call and speak to a nurse, great nurses who do amazing work. We've also been piloting now the ability to talk to a doctor when you call HealthLinks 24 hours a day. So we're about a couple weeks into this soft launch of this new approach. But again, we know people have big needs and expectations when it comes to healthcare. And so we're opening up more ability for you to be able to talk to physicians, to get the health care that you need, to speak to nurses. So yeah, the hospitals, putting a lot of emphasis there. We've added tons of clinics around the province. We've added the online bookings to get into physicians and nurse practitioner appointments. And then now we're proceeding with HealthLinks, getting an expanded offering too. So more healthcare for people, and certainly a lot more that needs to be done.
Okay, let's switch gears a little bit. Just this week you were asking for Prime Minister Mark Carney to sort of stiffen the penalties for repeat offenders or serial killers. Tell us why this is something that needs to be done in this country.
Well, unfortunately in Manitoba, we've seen a few serial killers in this province, which is just terrible. It's one of the worst things that you can imagine. And we had one who was released recently. It was a statutory release, so it's, you know, just something that happened as a result of decisions in the justice system that were made years and years and years ago. But at the end of the day, how does that help our society? How does it make things better to have somebody who's killed multiple people be released? I don't think the average person, you know, who has common sense and is smart and thinking about things sees a real benefit to that. So I've been raising this with the Prime Minister, the general issue of the justice system. Then this specific issue, wrote to him, raised it during our conversations as well too, just to say we need to have better structures in our justice system that give you, the average person out there, confidence that the community is going to be safer.
We know that it's dry right now. We haven't had much snow, not much precipitation this fall. There are 66 active wildfires burning in our province right now. And we know that there's likely going to be more next year, and which is really unfortunate. But what are we doing to prepare for that coming up in the spring?
Well, we're hiring, first of all. You can go on to the Manitoba Government Jobs website right now and apply to be a firefighter for the next wildfire season. Looking to hire people who would be crew leaders. We're also looking for those initial attack firefighters. These job postings are online right now because unfortunately we know that we do have to prepare for a wildfire season again next year. We don't hope or want it to be anything like what this season was. This was a record-setting season, but we do have a responsibility to prepare. We saw eastern Manitoba get hit first. We saw big impacts in the north. We saw the western region get hit as well. So we have a responsibility to get ready. And for people out there who want to maybe consider this as a line of work, I encourage you to check out our jobs website and apply. It's really amazing what the wildfire fighters get to do. Plus, we're doing the review of this season so that we can learn the lessons in time for next year. And whether it's the communities who are hosting evacuees, communities that had to fight the fires on their own doorsteps, we're looking to learn the lessons so that we can improve going forward into the future.
We're almost out of time. Our question of the day today is, what's your favorite holiday song? Can you share with us what yours is?
Well, like we had these albums that you just play on repeat, like Boney M, Raffi, but the biggest one for me is probably Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers.
Classic.
So I'll go with Christmas Without You from that album.
I like the hard candy one. Thank
That's
you
a
so
good one,
much
too.
for sharing this with us, and have a good day. Thank you.
You too.
Oh, fun. All right. Out here this morning, it is starting to look a little bit brighter. A little bit of a pink tinge to some of these clouds as the sun is starting to rise a little bit higher. But it is mainly cloudy out here this morning. We're not going to be seeing a whole lot of sunshine. The moments that the clouds might break up here or there, just be very grateful if you do see those glimmers of sunshine. -6 is where we're sitting right now. That would be a normal daytime high, but we will make some gains beyond that for another above seasonal day. The winds right now, they're out of the west, 17 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity is sitting at 88%. You know, I'm standing here talking and I think it might be more comfortable to have my gloves on. So even though we're still talking about these above seasonal temperatures, make sure you've got all of the things that you need to still be warm enough, because it is starting to cool down a little bit. So throw those extra layers on. You might want a toque for later on today, especially as these winds are likely to increase. I always keep a toque ready for my walk home anytime I'm spending longer periods of time outdoors. Just the things that'll make you feel a little more comfortable as the temperatures start to dip. And they will continue to do so, even though today we're likely to gain still another couple degrees, ending up at about -4. It will be cooling down. Tomorrow we're back to seasonal highs and getting even colder after that. We will have some heavier clouds, maybe a few scattered flakes of snow, but do keep in mind that those winds will be increasing throughout the day today. A beautiful shot of the sun rising out in the Knee Lake area. Thanks to Wayne for the photo, and keep them coming, please, to Winnipeg weather at CTV.ca. We're taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
Give a child a winter coat. You give them the means to go to school on a cold day, a chance to play outside, because no child should be freezing cold. Donate to Coats for Kids. Proudly sponsored by United Way Winnipeg and CTV.
If you find yourself a little bit overwhelmed with all of the shopping that you have to do this time of year, it's a good thing we have our expert around, Natalie Sexton, back and joining us again. Natalie, you are a pro shopper. This is your full-time job. This is what you do. So who better to turn to when we need to buy for people on our list? With some great ideas, you're going to join us this morning.
Absolutely, and I've got you covered. I think I have everybody on your list covered this holiday season. So let's start with HomeSense, one of my absolute favorite places to hit up. And I like to go with a theme. So this time around, I was looking for gifts for the foodies, for the bakers in my life, and you could do like a really cool curated gift basket here. Everything that I'm showing you is under $25, which is awesome. So we're not going to break the bank. And I thought maybe some fun themes, like for somebody who loves to bake cookies, we could get some really cute little festive cookie cutters. I love the little gingerbread mixing bowl and serving dishes. I thought they were so pretty. And then often we're going to a lot of gatherings where we're bringing something with us, right? Lots of potlucks. So why not give a beautiful festive serving dish as well, right? You're bringing the item and then you're leaving that as a special gift.
And then it's just gently used, but still, it's only been used once. No, but I love that idea. Absolutely. Some bougie cookware and a delicious feast inside of it. You can't go wrong with that. And listen, to me, Christmas baking is therapy. I love all of those ideas. All right, where's the next one?
Absolutely. Okay, let's go to Giant Tiger. You know, I love shopping at Giant Tiger, whether it's in-store or online at gianttiger.com. I went with a cozy theme here. I love getting matching jammies for the entire family, and they've got everything, right? They've got like the Grinch theme. They've got the Elf on the Shelf or your classics. There's also a really fun leopard and animal print, which are definitely my vibe, and a lot of great brand name toys as well. Everything that I'm showing you under $30. My granddaughter Mavis is obsessed with Lilo and Stitch and Hello Kitty. anxiety. So I hope she's not watching, because these are definitely all getting wrapped up after the segment. And of course, really fun beauty finds there too, like lots of really cute makeup kits.
Fun and lovely ideas. I am all about those matching pajamas. Even with the teenagers, they're not even kids anymore. But like, dress up kids, we're taking pictures. All right, what else is on your list that you're going to share with us today?
Let's talk self-care and skincare. So I have a couple of great options here. First up, from Paula's Choice, definitely an iconic brand. It's their Smooth and Glow gift set. It's $79 at Sephora. It's $105 value though, and you're getting their 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. This is like their tried, tested, and true must-have. You're going to have beautiful, clear skin. It's going to unclog your pores, and then it also comes with the 6% mandelic acid and 2% lactic acid exfoliant. You can use them together, or you can use them separately, but you're giving the gift of beautiful, glowing skin. Last but not least, Terry, I love, love, love this line. It's Curel Japanese Skincare. So what makes Curel so special is the Japanese skincare philosophy of double cleansing and double moisturizing. The products are dermatologist tested and recommended. Amazing for sensitive skin, amazing for skin that has eczema as well. A couple of my favorites are the foaming face wash and the makeup cleansing oil. You're going to find the entire line though at Shoppers Drug Mart. It's hydrating and beautiful.
Who doesn't want glowing skin, especially because we sometimes don't treat ourselves the best through the holidays. We get a little indulgent and our skin could use that boost. So great ideas there, Natalie. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me. Happy shopping.
Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
There's a look outside, a little bit brighter now, but certainly pretty cloudy. It's -6 at the moment, which is mild for this time of year. Normal lows would be about -15, and we're already at a seasonal daytime high. We've got a bit of a breeze. It's out of the west at 17 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity sitting at 88%. So yes, we have these extra clouds, and they will likely be hanging around throughout the day today. Heavier here in the southeastern side than southwestern Manitoba, who's enjoying some sunnier breaks and may continue to see more of that. And parts of northeastern Manitoba, also you can see the fewer clouds up there. We might see some pockets of sunshine, but overall expect some mainly cloudy conditions today. Still, the temperature's pretty decent. We're already at what is seasonal. We'll still gain another couple of degrees to a high of about -4. Partly sunny, but that chance of flurries is there. Scattered off and on, very light, not expecting to amount to much at all. Overnight, with the heavier clouds lingering, we'll drop to -10. You can expect the winds to increase this afternoon, and still at times tonight. At times tonight, you can expect those winds to be gusting to about 40 kilometers per hour, but they will be tapering off throughout the day tomorrow. -6, so we're back to seasonal. I know we had double digits on the plus side of freezing this past weekend. We were breaking records. It's been a slow slide back to what is normal, and then a slow slide continues as we're falling below seasonal, and from plus double digits to minus double digits just a week apart, and then expect those below normal temperatures to continue into next week.
Thanks, Terry. A series of threatening incidents in the RM of Alexander have left municipal staff, including the mayor, on edge. The final straw is a grader working on a local road being hit with a bullet.
It's just a terrible thing. Do you want to go to work and think that you're going to be shot at every day? It's very concerning.
A rural municipality northeast of Winnipeg is worried staff and elected officials are being intimidated. Earlier this month, a public works employee from the RM of Alexander was operating this grader on a road. The operator says he heard a bang and later found this hole on the side of the grader. A bullet, believed to be from a high-powered rifle, had pierced the mesh door. Mayor Jack Briscoe says no one is supposed to be hunting in the area where the grader was struck. He says they're all on edge, wondering if this was intentional.
People are scared to drive to do their job in the RM. And there was talks of they wanted 2 people to be in the vehicle together so they're not alone.
RCMPs say they are investigating the incident. The RM says this is the first of many suspicious incidents they've dealt with over the last year and a half. This after the mayor says a lagoon project and another development plan have caught the attention of some passionate ratepayers. The RM says they've now installed security cameras at their office. The Winnipeg Police Service is rolling out a new electronic ticketing system. The service says the new system is being phased in. If you're pulled over, you'll still be handed a printed ticket, but the big change is how they're created. Officer smartphones can access the service's record management systems to enter offense information into a secure digital platform. The hope is this will boost accuracy and accountability while allowing officers to spend less time on paperwork. It's the end of an era for an iconic East Kildonan bowling alley, which has been a landmark on Henderson Highway for decades. Roxy Lanes, originally the Roxy Theatre, first opened to the public on Christmas Eve in 1929. Now the 96-year-old red bricks are slowly getting dismantled piece by piece as the Manitoba Métis Federation has new plans for the space. CTV's Joseph Bernacki has more on the bowling lane's lasting legacy.
Winnipeg bowler Jeff Bourne says he is sad to see this piece of history hit the chopping block.
It's terrible to see the demolition of another bowling alley. Unfortunately, bowling alleys are not the highest and best use of space, and they're getting scraped.
Bourne loves 5-pin bowling and hits the lanes twice a week. He remembers a time when Roxy Lanes held an annual nationally televised tournament. He rolled in the event that began in the mid-1980s.
We had a few Winnipeg champions. I made the final show in 1995. So it was a nice party for about 20 years.
The East Kildonan Bowling Alley closed its doors April 2022. It was then purchased by Manitoba Métis Federation. Now, a full demolition has begun on the building as the MMF plans to turn it into a mixed 55-plus residential and commercial space. The MMF says the new space will address the need for affordable senior housing.
Our seniors, our elders, that's the priority we should be focused on. So this particular building is going to continue on with that.
The bowling alley was once home to the 1,200-seat Roxy Theatre, which first opened Christmas Eve 1929. Cindy Tugwell, Executive Director of Heritage Winnipeg, brought her 3 sons to bowl here over the years. She says there was a missed opportunity by the city to save the 96-year-old building.
I think we forget that when we tear these buildings down, you're taking those memories and that history away from that neighborhood.
Tugwell points to the success of uptown lofts that replaced the former Academy lanes. Goodon says the demolition will take some time due to the potential presence of asbestos and other toxic materials. They would like to have the new space complete in 2026. He says they found the original projector intact in the basement. They are hopeful they can salvage it along with the building's original signage and perhaps find it a new home.
It's got to be worth something to somebody. And if that's the case, then we can absolutely work with any partners that want to preserve something like that.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Here's a look at what's going on now on Portage Avenue at Polo Park. It looks like a smooth drive so far in this part of the city. No issues to tell you about at this point. Here's a look at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.32. The provincial average is lower at $1.27. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.26. And the lowest price in the city is $1.17. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
For our question of the day, we wanted to know what's your favorite holiday song. Auntie Nina says The Little Drummer Boy by Bing Crosby and David Bowie. Louise's absolute favorite Christmas song is Oh Holy Night, sung by John Barry. Addie likes Jingle Bell Rock and Dominic the Donkey. Keith says White Christmas by Bing Crosby. Susan's favorite is Silent Night. Mary enjoys Mary's Boy Child, Oh My Lord. Marlene's favorites are We Wish You a Merry Christmas song, I'll Be Home for Christmas, and Santa Baby. Jody's favorite Christmas song is Once Upon a Christmas by Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers. Jackie loves Christmas music but says some faves are Trans-Siberian Orchestra's Christmas Eve Sarajevo instrumental, The Christmas Shoes by New Song, and Sean Quigley's Little Drummer Boy. Suzanne has a bunch but says Fa La 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 and Two Step Round the Christmas Tree are 2 favorites. Kim enjoys Let It Snow. Thank you so much for your responses. Let's go now to Ainslie McPhail.
My Lord, you sent your son to save us. Oh, my Lord.
Is that your favorite?
You're very... Yeah, I don't know how to sing it in French, sorry. Thought I'd pitch in to the question of the day. Sorry to cut you off. But look how fitting it is. We're at the Winnipeg Christmas Market, and Monica's in Santa's chair. So you're very lucky. You're warming it up for him, right?
I'm getting it all ready for him, yeah.
Okay, so he's going to be here. What can the kids do, though?
So in our kids zone, we have these little letters to Santa that we've got. So you fill it out with your name and your address and what you've done to be nice this year and your little request. And then you can walk it on over and have a seat on his lap and give it to him.
That's awesome. Tons of other stuff for kids as well.
Yeah, lots to do here. There's games, there's coloring, there's something for the big kids as well, you know, the ones who like to lay in the lit arch, maybe.
Side-eye, I love it, I love it.
We've got food and beverages. We've got live music all weekend, so come and enjoy some local artists. We've got lots of shopping options, clothing, candles, everything you can imagine.
And even seeing people set up here, it goes to show the true scale of it with about 140 vendors. But the feeling cannot be avoided. Music is a big part of that.
Yeah, we've got lots of live artists coming. They're all local, and so all weekend long we'll have a stage going. And so lots of singer-songwriters, and most of it will be Christmas music, some of it will be originals. It's just a nice way to set the mood.
What I love about the food, other than the fact that it's the food and it's sweet, the mocktails looked fantastic this morning, but they're adding a Christmas twist to some of the items.
Yeah, for example, Wacky Waffles has a crushed candy cane topping for their waffles on a stick, so that's really exciting. And all of them have something unique to offer, so really getting into the Christmas vibe here.
I don't know if you're allowed to say this, but are there any vendors that you're like, oh, you should come check this out while you're here?
I mean, you can't, all of them, right? You can't pick a favorite. They're so good. There's, like, the food vendors are great as far as, like, the take-home stuff, like hot honeys and elixirs and all kinds of stuff. It is just really a wide variety.
Tickets, where, when, how can people get them?
Online, winnipegchristmasmarket.com, or you can buy at the door as well. We're here for 4 days, so check out our website and our Instagram for details on when we open and close. But yeah, we highly encourage you to come and have a really nice weekend with us.
Thank you so much. Mary's boy child.
Thank you, Ainsley.
Come to the market.
Okay, we'll do. Thank you.
Please stop.
Man will live forevermore.
We were having some karaoke today.
Do you know, Rochelle, those flurries last night, they just flipped a switch in me, and I have been giddy ever since, honestly. I didn't think I was missing the snow as much as I was until it finally showed up. Now, out here this morning, we're not seeing much in the way of snow. I've seen like 10 flakes so far this morning, just a few here or there. But I can see just the lightest little bit of snow out on my patio. You maybe notice it like kind of tucked between the grass on the lawns and whatnot. Temperatures are starting to cool down. That being said, we're still in for one more above seasonal day before we're back to normal for this time of year, and will continuously cool down through the rest of the week. Well, is tomorrow Friday? Yes? Thank you. Okay, so tomorrow will be that seasonal day, and then it'll cool down for the weekend and next week. Anyway, -6 is where we're sitting right now. That is a normal daytime high. We've got a light wind out of the west, 17 kilometers per hour, the pressure rising, and the humidity sitting at 88%. Tomorrow's Friday. Team, hey? How excited are we for the weekend? Anyway, we've got a few extra clouds hanging around over us right now. They might still bring a few scattered flakes of snow, and that'll be the case across the province. They might even break up in places. I'm seeing like little patches of blue sky above, so moments of sunshine, but overall on the cloudier side. Still pleasant with the temps. It will be cooling down, yes, and then we're looking at slightly below seasonal temperatures throughout the coming weekend. Over the next couple of days, some scattered flakes of snow, just enough to get you into the festive season. We're taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
CTV News Winnipeg is building another Toy Mountain, and you can help. New unwrapped toys can be dropped off for Toy Mountain on Saturday, November 29th at Access Storage on Lowson Crescent from 1 to 4 p.m. You can find a full list of all 2025 Toy Mountain events and drop-off locations on our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca.
Saskatchewan-based Nutrien, the world's largest potash producer, confirmed that it's looking to build a new export facility in Washington State, not Vancouver. Nutrien has set plans in motion to build a $1 billion export terminal at Washington's Port of Longview at a time when the federal government is pushing for built-in Canada infrastructure projects. Minister of Transport Stephen McKinnon has expressed disappointment in Nutrien's decision, saying he's trying to convince the company to reverse it. Shares in Puma jumped after a media report of a potential takeover from China's Anta Sports at a time when the German group is trying to turn its fortunes around in European morning trading. Other potential bidders could include Chinese apparel firm Li Ning and Japan's ASICS. Former Adidas executive Arthur Holt took the reins at the group earlier this year, and in October, he outlined a number of strategies aimed at returning the company to growth in 2027. Puma shares are down more than 50% this year. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
So Reddick is getting ready to host its Christmas fair this weekend. It's a chance to celebrate as well as honor and support those that are Ukrainian artisans and they're newcomers in our province. And they have great traditional gifts at this fair. So joining us now are, we have Christina Semanuk and Nadia Komet. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
You brought all these amazing items to share with us. But before we get to there, let's talk about the fair itself and why it is so important to support local newcomers here.
Thank you. So the Christmas Fair is held annually, and it's being held Saturday and Sunday, November 29th and 30th at Oseradok. We're located at 184 Alexander Avenue East. Saturday is from 10 to 4 and Sunday 12 to 5. Okay. 12 to 4, sorry. And we are showcasing various artisans. We have artisans that are Canadian, and our focus is artisans from Ukraine. Okay. So with the war in Ukraine, we want to do what we can do to support our Ukrainian artisans. Absolutely. Starting with anybody who comes in can purchase a print, the Miron Levitsky print.
Which is, lift it up so we can see it here.
Yeah, and so this is the Miron Levitsky print. Yep. And by donating $25, 100% of proceeds go to the defenders of Ukraine.
Okay, and who made this print?
Miron Levitsky. Okay. He's a Ukrainian-Canadian artist.
Okay, tell him.
We have his work in our collection, and we most recently had a show of his works. Okay. And this is one of the paintings in our collection, and we have a print available for
It's beautiful.
purchase.
Okay, there are so many other items here as well. Tell us a little bit about who the artisans are and why it's important to support them.
This is actually the jiduch, which is a very traditional element of Ukrainian Christmas, and held in the homes, and representing family health and a bountiful harvest, because primarily it was through the farmlands. Right. And so this is actually made by one of our volunteers in the boutique, and so we have these available. We also have Ukrainian mints.
Oh, I've had these.
Yes.
They're phenomenal.
Yes, they are.
They are incredibly delicious.
Yes,
okay, so tell us a little bit about the mints themselves. And
the mints are made locally by Mordens. Okay. And then they're customized for the Ukrainian Cultural Center. And so we have them made for us. And then we have various merchandise here, and I'll have Nadia speak to what we have.
Okay, we have these beautiful ornaments from Grono, from Ukraine, and this particular ornament represents the artwork of Maria Primachenko, who is a Ukrainian self-taught artist from Ukraine, and the imagery that she uses is imaginative. Primarily imaginative. She uses birds, animals, people, and flowers that she used to create her artwork. Right. So we have this set. We have they're sold separately, these ornaments, and you can also buy them as a set. Okay. We also have beautiful socks, wool socks from Ukraine. They look cozy. They are very cozy.
Oh yes. Oh
nice, and they're soft.
Yes.
And colorful.
And the detail in this as well. It's very traditional.
Very traditional, geometric with organic patterns. And we also have beautiful candles that are handmade from Ukraine. They're 100% beeswax. We have them in natural color, a green color, and a red color.
Okay.
And they're available for purchase.
And these plates, we got to talk about these pieces here. Tell us about this pottery.
Well, this work is called Kosiv pottery, and it comes from Western Ukraine, from the Carpathian Mountains. And these pieces are quite unique because the Kosiv ceramic style is now considered part of the UNESCO heritage. So each piece is handmade, hand painted, and we have them in plates, bowls, and we have a candelabra.
This is incredible. So if you want more details, we have a link on our website for fair information. And of course, thank you ladies for sharing this with us and bringing so many beautiful items. If you don't know what's on your Christmas list, now you do.
Thank you.
Beautiful outside this morning. We're sitting at -6 right now. We've got some heavier clouds hanging over the city. We may see a few scattered flakes of snow. We've seen a couple of flakes so far this morning, really not amounting to too much though. Those winds at the moment are out of the west, 17 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity sitting at 88%. So yes, we've had the heavier clouds. There you can see them hanging around pretty much across the province. A little bit brighter here in the southwest, maybe up in the northeast as well. We might see moments of sunshine. When I was just up there 10 minutes ago, I was seeing like some thinner clouds, a little bit of a blue sky behind it, but overall it will be on the cloudier side. Still mild though, headed to a high of -4. That will be an above seasonal day, but that will be the last of the above seasonal days for a while anyway. -6, that is normal for this time of year. That's where we'll be tomorrow, and then slowly, steadily cooling through the rest of the week. We're taking a break, but we'll see you soon with more Your Morning Winnipeg.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
Well, Terry, you just can't seem to get away from 6-7, and the UK Prime Minister is joining in.
Oh, so you were here.
Oh, it's not on the
6-7. Yeah. 6-7. Everybody. 6-7.
Keir Starmer dropped 6-7 while visiting a class in England. He later posted on social media, "I think I just got detention after being told by a teacher kids get in trouble for saying that at school."
I can imagine teachers must be at their wits' end. You know how many snowflakes I saw this morning?
How many?
6-7. Too easy.
You're in trouble now. The San Diego Zoo is showing off some new additions. 3 fossa pups were born there in July and are now venturing out. The fossa is a cat-like mammal closely related to the mongoose and civet. They are native to Madagascar.
Cute.
Very cool. And in honor of American Thanksgiving today, we leave you with an adorable feast. A Chicago pet shelter shared this post of some of their dogs and cats enjoying their own Thanksgiving feast. They called it a feast of second chances. Look at them just going chow town. Little spot on the nose there. It's so sweet.
Oh, hello. Oh, my goodness.
That does it for us. Have a wonderful day.